This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Gold heading back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
Swing and a miss! A no-hitter in the WPIAL Championship game!
The Mohawk Warriors have knocked off the four-time defending champion and are champions again.
The Shenango Wildcats are the WPIAL champions.
Elwood City, WPIAL champions for the first time in school history.
Cox with it. Cox all the way in the jam again. The Red Hurricanes storming their way to another title. Swing and a miss. A one-hit masterpiece.
Turn, fake it to Maple, keeping himself, coming near side. Can they hit him? No! I think he got in! He did! Will begin as one of the state championship!
Strike three called. Put another notch in the belt. Memorial Spartans three-peat.
And the Shannock is the 2021 2A Girls Champion.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
140 games as of last week, and the research that James Dodson and I did during this week, looking at scores from previous games, it looked like, now I don't know if it's the worst beating per se. It's the most points they've allowed in a game. I think there may or may not be a difference there.
I was just going to say, 63-6.
63-6 is pretty bad. You're right, and we probably should not belabor that point much tonight. But the previous high was 56, which I was surprised by, because I mean, you know, when you're around for over 100 years and you play 1,240 games, you think you're going to get run at least once for like a good 60 or 70 points, and apparently that wasn't the case. Apparently last week was it. So
Canes come in at 6-4, Rob. The Golden Rams, the 8th seed, Canes the 9th seed. Golden Rams come in at 7-3. It's a fascinating year by Highlands. They open up the season with 4 straight wins, then they lose 3 straight, and they conclude the season with 3 straight victories.
Yeah, and it was kind of the meat of their schedule where they started to falter. They lose to an unbeaten Hampton team at home. They lose to a Plum team that's a playoff qualifier, and then they went to Indiana and they lost. But they finished with a win over playoff bound Armstrong, 41-27, beat Greensburg-Salem, and then last week ran all over Knock.
The Canes come into this ball game, as we told you, 6-4 on the season. That loss to Equipa. The Canes had won 2 straight over Blackhawk and Chartiers Valley. Joe Cowart, the head coach, in his 10th season at 54-47. Don Girardi in his 5th season here as head coach of the Golden Rams at 21-25. In fact, we'll hear from Coach Girardi in the pregame show coming up here in just a bit. The 8th playoff appearance under head coach Joe Cowart. The Canes with just a 2-7 record in those 9 years. Both wins in the run to the WPIAL Class 4A title game back in 2016. In some great victories that season, that's for sure.
No, you remember that one. They got their revenge at South Fayette in the first round, 51-43. And then they went to Mars and beat Ringgold 38-17 in that game before being blanked by Thomas Jefferson at Heinz Field the week after.
The Golden Rams, as we told you, Coach Girardi in his 5th season defeated Knock a week ago, 33-13. And this is a team that can really do it all. They can throw it, they can run it. And talking with Coach Coward, you'll hear that coming up in a little while. I ask him, can this be one of those games, like we saw in Blackhawk, where possessions are few and far in between?
Well, it wouldn't be out of the scope of possibility, that's for sure. I mean, you got 2 teams that can run the ball when they're able to, and you've got a Golden Rams team. They're only one of 3 4A teams this year that have a 1,000-yard passer and rusher. So, you know, it could be one of those things where we see a quarter where Newcastle has just 1 possession or Highlands has just 1 possession.
And not only do they have a 1,000-yard passer, but that quarterback has rushed for over 800 yards on top of that.
Yeah, Chandler Timmons has really kind of done it all this year, the 3-year starter. He had 196 yards rushing last week against Knock. I think they had over 440 rushing yards against the Knights last week in that regular season finale. So they've got Timmons. They got a sophomore, Luke Bombalski, who is spelling last year's leading rusher Brock White, and White is back, and he's running the ball too. So they've got several weapons they can turn to move the ball.
Well, one thing we've seen too, that the Canes have been susceptible to the pass, to the deep pass, and I think we're going to see a couple of shots, maybe more than one or two here tonight for Highlands, Rob. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you throw for 1,100 yards, you obviously have got some receivers that can haul it in, and they've got a couple juniors. Or they got a junior, Landon Signorella, who's got 27 catches and 7 touchdowns this year, and Drake Buford, the senior, 24 catches, averaging 15.3 per catch. So that secondary is going to be tested tonight for Newcastle.
How do the Canes wipe away that absolute beating they took a week ago?
Well, I don't think it lasted long, you know, and it shouldn't have. I mean, you knew you were going to have a tough game going in. You're going against an Aliquippa team that's top 5 in the state, you know, obvious class of the conference, and really all I think you can do is just to take the beating and move on and focus as early as you can on tonight.
Winner of this takes on the top seed, Belle Vernon, down at the beach.
At the beach next week, that's right. Belle Vernon, the 1 seed in the 4A bracket. They get the bye. Aliquippa got the bye, and the runner-up in the Big 8, McKeesport, getting that 3rd bye, meaning that Hampton, who won the Greater Allegheny 10-0, is playing tonight.
Yes, they are. They're at home tonight against Plum. Past those buses, by the way, on the turnpike coming down here. Indiana is at number 5, Thomas Jefferson. As Rob told you, third seed McKeesport has the bye. 11 seed Montour is at the 6th seed Armstrong. I think everybody's curious, aren't you, to see what the Beaver Bobcats do?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they've played some unbelievably close football games this year. They're at home tonight against Laurel Highlands. By the way, that's a 7 o'clock start, which never happens there. But it's a WPIAL playoff.
Well, they don't go worry about the sun anymore. That's the thing.
The only thing, though, if they win, they don't have to go far. If the Bobcats win.
Just go to Aliquippa, right?
Yeah, they just got to go right down the road and take on the Quips of Aliquippa. Well, we're about 25 minutes away from the opening kick of tonight's game between Newcastle and Highlands. Got a chance to talk with the head coach of the Golden Rams a little bit earlier today, Dom Girardi. We'll have that for you as our pregame show continues tonight here on News Radio 1200 WKST.
Used to rise.
Okay, you have it right there.
Transit authority take you where you want to go. Take the bus to work, school, doctor.
When we go into the interview after this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then coming out of the interview, you would just want bumper music?
we had to wear it. You got to wear it because we didn't play the way we wanted to, and we were outclassed. We were certainly outclassed last Friday night, and the beauty of it is the work that we've done throughout the course of the year, we've earned the right to be here, and we've earned the right to have another opportunity to play a much better football game than we did a week ago.
How do you get a situation where players don't question themselves and what they're able to do?
You know what? It's funny because it's one of those things between the years that you worry about, certainly as a coach, and you worry about the confidence of your players, and they're having a supreme confidence that they need to have to be excellent at what they do. But as much as I worried and fretted over the weekend, which I did, because it was one of those things. How do we get these guys back and believing in the message and believing in what we're doing? You know, we walked out on the football field on Monday, and we're back to practice. We were practicing for a playoff game, and the response on Monday from our group of seniors and the group of guys in our locker room was excellent, and we washed it off. And you got to turn the page because we're not. We're playing a darn good football team tonight, and we got to play our butts off tonight.
And one thing, when it's a situation like that last week against Aliquippa, it's just not one or two breakdowns. It's just not one or two people. It's everybody.
Yeah, the wheels fell off, no question. And sometimes that happens, and it's unfortunate. But they were playing. They had some important things going on at their place a week ago. But the last game at that stadium, obviously a conference championship on the line, and they played championship caliber football against us, and we didn't. So we gotta, we know the mountain we gotta climb to get into the championship conversation, and that climb starts tonight.
Interesting season for the Golden Rams. I was talking to Coach Girardi earlier today. Start off with 4 straight wins, lose 3 straight, all the playoff teams, by the way, and then finish the season with 3 straight victories.
Yeah, you know what? They've showed resolve because that's hard, just like we talked about with us. What do they look like at 4-3 after a really fast start? But they got it figured out, and they played really excellent football down the stretch to finish the 7-7 win regular season, which is excellent. Coach Girardi does a great job, and they have players. They have quarterbacks a stud, the running backs a leading rusher in 4A, and they are aggressive as all Highlands teams are. So they're going to make everything. You're going to have to earn it tonight, and God willing, our guys are going to make them earn everything as well.
Can this be one of those Blackhawk games, Joe, where every possession is critical, where you may see few possessions in tonight's football game?
It may very well be, and when you play an 8-9 matchup, and hopefully it's seeded appropriately, that's a lot of times what happens, is you're playing 2 evenly matched teams in a big game. That's important to both teams, obviously. So, yeah, we think it's playoff football. Yeah. Mistakes are magnified, everything's magnified, but also your ability to bounce back when things happen. There's going to be peaks and valleys tonight, like we talk about all the time. Is how do we bounce back from the valleys and continue to climb up the mountain tonight?
A 3-year junior quarterback, you don't see that. 3-year starting junior quarterback, I should say. You don't see that a lot.
No, and he's a good one. We saw him as a 9th grader, and he's a darn good player. And he's there. He steers the ship for them, no question. They're going to go how he goes, and defensively, we're going to do some things to try to make it hard for him. But he's seen it all, and Coach Girardi is excellent when it comes to quarterback play.
Yep.
Has a great background with his family and coaching quarterbacks and teaching those guys to see the right thing. So they'll put pressure on us, but it's our job to put pressure on them, man. It's going to be a fun night.
He's no small kid either.
No, he's a moose. I remember his brother. That's how old I'm getting, right?
Yeah.
I remember his brother, who's now playing at Westminster, and he was bigger than him. So I hope he doesn't hit a growth spurt anytime tonight, but he's big enough as is.
Some great matchups between these two schools in years past.
It's been really good. I mean, it's as far away as we are, and these guys we're a little bit off the map in the WPIAL. These guys are a little bit off the map in the WPIAL. We're not right on the Parkway. They've been great. I mean, they have been really good games. So the last 2 times we played at this joint was overtime games. Yeah. So,
I don't want that tonight. I'd gladly take, you're up to one. Your message here shortly before the lights come on, just play your best. Play your best. Play for each other. Enjoy the moment and seize it. Take advantage of the moment. Health-wise, we're good. Antonio Gardner has been a really good player offensively and defensively for us. Busted his finger up last week, so he'll be out. But other than that, we're ready to rock. Good luck. Thank you. Coach of the Canes, Joe Cowart. Stay tuned. Coming up on kickoff tonight, Newcastle Highlands, Class 4A first-round playoffs. Back with more. News Radio 1200 WKST 97.9 FM.
It's said that defense is the key to a championship team this football season when it comes to...
There we go. During this segment here is when we'll do Dotson.
Defend your rights by going after the...
Bring it here after this.
Garbett, Kelly, and George for a free consultation today, 724-658-8535, or go to lgkg.com. Good luck to all the teams this football season from Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George.
Closing in on kickoff between Newcastle and the Highlands Golden Rams in 2A action tonight. Rob Gregory, the top seed, Still Valley, taking on Beth Center. That's at Campbell Field and Munhall this evening. Ligonier Valley, the number 9. This is the 9A game in 2A at Southside Beaver. That could be an interesting matchup.
That could be an interesting matchup, and it's still a little interesting that Steel Valley got that top seed in that bracket, and Still Rock's maybe steaming a little bit for not getting the top seed.
Now, Western Beaver didn't have to travel far. They're taking on Beaver Falls this evening, and that's at Geneva College, Reef Stadium.
Winner of that game getting the winner of Washington and New Brighton, the 4-13 game in the top half of the bracket.
Yep, on the other side, Laurel, the number 3 seed, undefeated on the year, at number 14, McGuffey. Not surprised Spartans got a 3, huh?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all for the season that they've had, and the dominating way that they've had their season as well.
11 seed Neshannock is taking on Sarah Catholic. Could be an interesting matchup maybe next week in round 2 of the playoffs, huh?
You got to think that Neshannock might be the best 11 seed that you've ever seen in any kind of bracket anywhere, right? And then it's Sarah Catholic with just the one loss. Number
2, Stowe Rocks. They're taking on Shadyside Academy tonight. That's at Peters Township High School. And the other matchup at Chartiers Houston tonight, Mohawk at Char Houston. James Dotson will be there. Calling that game, and J-Dot's got a preview on that for us. James?
Nice 2A first-round game. That's the 7 seed Chartiers Houston hosts the 10 seed Mohawk Warriors. For Mohawk, after 3 straight losses, the Warriors finished the year on a high note with a victory last week over Elwood City. But quarterback J.C. Boss missing 2 games due to COVID and suffering an injury in the Freedom game that knocked him out of that contest. It was back to his normal ways last week, throwing touchdowns to Mark Conti and Aiden Sample. Conti also ran for a touchdown last week. He has 11 touchdowns now on the season. J.C. Boss with 1,300 passing yards and 12 touchdowns in just 7 games. Mohawk 5-5 on the year, but a completely different team now with Voss back in the lineup, getting everybody back to their normal positions. For the Buccaneers coming into tonight's game, a 7-1 overall record, haven't played in 2 weeks after having an open game in Week 9. Coach Terry Fesco focuses on a ground and pound game featuring a trio of senior running backs that have accounted for 23 of the team's 28 touchdowns on the year. But when it is time to throw, Terry Fesco will rely upon Terry Fesco. His son, a junior, 5 total touchdowns on the season. He averages just 11 pass attempts per game, but is very effective, especially when the defenses try to stack the box. But it's definitely going to be establish the run game for the big Buccaneers offensive line, averaging 6 foot, 254 pounds. Mohawk averaging 6 foot, 250. Should be a good one for the 7-10 matchup, the first ever matchup between the Bucs and the Warriors. From Houston, Pennsylvania, I'm James Dotson, News Radio 1200 WKST.
All right, thank you, James. Class A action tonight. Clareton, of course, the top seed. They've got the bye, the 9A game in Class A. Our Lady of Sacred Heart taking on Greensburg Central Catholic. That being played at Hempfield High School. The number 5 seed Rochester, they're taking on Mapletown. That's at Freedom this evening. 4th seed West Green will take on Springdale this evening at home.
On the top of that bracket, of course, Clareton 7-2 with a couple early losses in the season. You also look at that Greensburg Central Catholic Olsh game. The Centurions kind of reeling after losing 2 of their assistant coaches to death.
Tragically, yeah.
Tragically, yeah.
I mean, that is a That was just a horrible situation, and see how they rally around that tonight. That game being played at Hempfield High School. Bottom of the bracket, 14th seed Burgettstown taking on number 3 Bishop Canavan. That's at Cannon Mac tonight. And right down the road from us, Shenango, the number 11 seed at 6-seeded Carmichaels. The 3 wins for the Wildcats this year, Rob Gregory, all came in Big 7 play.
All came in the conference, and it slotted them in 4th place in the conference, making the playoffs.
That's a haul that that they made tonight, well, that's for sure.
When you win 3 games, you get to travel, I guess.
Another interesting matchup, I think, is the 10th seed California at the 7th seed Leechburg, Robin. You got Cal, who's got a 7-2 record on the regular season. That could be a fascinating matchup against Leechburg, who finished up at 8-2.
Yeah, Cal finishing behind West Green and Carmichaels in the Tri-County South. You know, California is usually one of those teams that you think, you know, is going for that conference title year by year.
Cal averaging 33 a game. Meanwhile, Leechburg averaging 45 a game. You would think the scoreboard's going to get lit up in that one.
Would you go for the over in that one?
I would think so.
I would think so.
I mean, Leechburg's given up 20 a game, and Cal's given up almost 19. So yeah, I would think so. And the other game, 2nd seed Cornell is taking on Monessen. That's taking place at West Allegheny High School. Monessen's got to hope Cornell plays a horrible football game tonight.
Yeah,
right?
Monessen coming in as the conference 5th place out of the Tri-County South.
All right, so that's the matchups. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned it, but the winner of this one travels, I think we did, takes on Bell Vernon a week from this evening. Top seed, and understandably so. What a season they had.
Yeah, the big wins this year against Thomas Jefferson, and then last week taking care of McKeesport in pretty easy fashion to solidify that 1 seed in the bracket.
Yeah, definitely well-deserved, that's for sure. And should be an interesting first night of the WPIAL playoffs. I think, too, that one of the things that we didn't talk about early on in our pregame show, but I think it could play a factor in this. You know, when we see Newcastle moving the football, doing well, it's because of the offensive line. They're going to miss Antonio Gardner tonight.
No, I don't think there's any question about it.
I mean, they are going to miss the 5'10", 240-pound senior again. I do not know who is going to be replacing Antonio this evening, but as soon as we see the first series, we'll be able to tell you. Elsewhere on that offensive line for the Canes, of course, it's led by Kareem Holmes, the center. The other guard is Devin Palmer. The tackles are Alex Fox and David Jackson. The tight end, Mateo Savage. The quarterback is Chris Hood. And, of course, we'll see in the backfield Kavion Gardner along with Michael Wells. Who else? Braylon Sibley, Malik Jefferson.
Sure.
So we'll see a host. Chris Hood, though, is the leading ground gainer for Newcastle. And really, it's by a large margin, too, Rob Gregory. It's not even close.
Well, and, you know, we've been saying this the past couple of weeks. He had to pick up the slack when Michael Wells was injured that first part of the season. And now you look at him, he's averaging 5-6 a carry. He's got 11 touchdowns on the ground. He's done the work.
In the passing game, though, 70 of 145, under 50% completion. And the stat, too, that you have to look at, 7 touchdowns, but he's been picked off 11 times, 3 times a week ago, Rob Gregory, against the Quips of Aliquippa.
Well, I mean, last week I think was probably the anomaly, and then, of course, that Beaver game on the Friday night we were there, he had trouble with that Beaver secondary as well. So maybe that's a little misleading. Maybe he forces it sometimes. But all in all, he's been a pretty good passer this year, almost passing for 1,000 yards.
Looks like the Canes will be receiving to start the game here, going right to left.
Another thing about that line, too, and I don't know if we've ever had this in the time we've been doing it together, that line has pretty much stayed together all season. I mean, they have been absolutely, without question, without injury this year. So that's a big loss that Antonio Gardner's not going to be in there.
Not only that, Rob Gregory, but timing, everything. Yeah. Everything that's involved in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been an offensive line, as Rob has said, really has been together the entire season, but won't be tonight. We're going to see Mike Wells back deep. That hasn't happened too often this year.
No.
In my memory. Usually it's Andre Jackson, Tyler Leakins. Looks like two. No, I thought it was Braylon Sibley. It is not Braylon. Instead, back there might be Kelly. And we're underway. And it's going to go to Wells at the 10. He's at the 15, 20, Inside the middle of the field, 25, spins off a couple, gets to the 30, and that's it. He'll be down right there. So the Canes 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line, no flags. And again, we'll get the goggles out and see who's going to be at that right guard position in place of Antonio Gardner, injured a finger a week ago against the Quips of Aliquippa. Again, not in the lineup tonight. Looks like that it is Marcos Diaz, a freshman, if everything's right on the sheet, Rob. Trips to the near side, a receiver to the right. Option near side, pitch to Mike Wells across the 30 to the 32-yard line, and he's brought down by Timmons. So Chandler Timmons in on the tackle. He's one of the linebackers, I do believe. Yes, they'll play the 3-5. So short gain of a couple of yards on the play, 2nd down and 8. And I noticed too, the first play, they go to the left side of the line of scrimmage for the Canes. Andre Jackson comes in. Jackson will line up here to the near side of the field, along with Kelly, 2 receivers to the far side. Wells in the backfield with Hood on a 2nd down and 8. Ball near hash. Hood to throw. Short pass. Andre's got it. 35. Jackson slips as he tries to make a cut. It's going to be just shy of a 1st down at the 39-yard line, and that might have been a few more if Andre Jackson doesn't slip.
Yeah, he's trying to cut back to the outside. Now the Canes with some tempo.
Yep. Quickly at the line of scrimmage on a 3rd down and a yard to go from the 39. Hood calls his own number. He's got the 1st down and more at 50. He's to the 40. He's going to go all the way for a Newcastle Red Hurricane touchdown. Chris Hood with the rushing touchdown. And Newcastle strikes first on that 61-yard run from scrimmage for Chris Hood, which is his 12th rushing touchdown on the season. Averaging almost 6 yards a carry, and that'll bump that up just a tad.
And that play with Hood is pretty much the bread and butter on 3rd and short for this team all year. You just happen to find a lane.
Some poor tackling up front by the Golden Rams. And Al Boris now on the point after. The Canes strike first here with 10:23 to play in the quarter. It looks like that we've got a flag, and the question is, are we going to see an offside penalty against the Golden Rams? And if that's the case, what does Joe Cowart elect to do here? So will Cowart go for the 1 or go for the 2? Offside. They're going to take the penalty, which gets it a little bit closer. Be hard not to run that last play they just
Boy, sure would. You're not kidding. The Portis is still on the field.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're just going to edge him a little closer for the kick.
I think Joe's saying that he wants to decline it and take it on the kick.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to take place, it looks like, as the ball remains at the 3-yard line. 6-0 if you just joined us on a 61-yard run on the 3rd play of the ball game by Chris Hood. Snap is down. Kick is up by Portis, and it's no good. He missed it. So points always in playoffs are hard to come by, and when you get a chance, you got to capitalize on it, and that's a missed opportunity for the Red Hurricane.
Boy, it sure is.
So Chris Hood, who had 761 yards coming into tonight's game, is now over 800 on the season.
3 plays on that drive for 70 yards in 1:37, and
again, as you said, Rob, it's a play that we've seen a lot throughout the course of the season from the Canes.
Just Hood calling his own number and picking up 1, 2, 3 yards, whatever's necessary on 3rd and short, but not this time. This time he broke free and found the end zone 61 yards later. Canes lead 6-0. 10:23 to go first quarter.
Yep. Looks like Brian Randolph will go back deep along with Braden White for the Golden Rams. Of course, we've seen Angel with some short kicks throughout the season. It's usually just kind of a ground ball up the middle type kick the majority of the season. But we've also seen the Canes every now and then early in football games try something a little different and with an onside kick. So I'm not expecting that right here, but It's the playoffs, so you never know.
Not making the call?
No, I'm not.
Not quite.
Porras, high, short kick, fielded at the 35-yard line, and the Golden Rams will get it across the 40 to the 42-yard line. So that'll be some great field position.
That's something the Canes have been employing here in the last month or so, the short
Looks
kicks.
like that was Khalil Long, 6'6", 271-pound offensive lineman, and they do have some impressive size on that offensive line. Two receivers to each side of the field. Chandler Timmons, the junior quarterback, 6'4", 208 pounds. And they'll keep it on the ground on first down, 45 across the 45 to the 49-yard line. Austin Kelly in on the stop. Was that Bombalski?
I believe that was.
Okay. And he's had a big year.
The sophomore, spelling Brock White, who hurt his knee in the offseason. He's also back. The senior was their leading rusher last year.
Trips near side, a receiver to the left. Second down at a yard to go. And the give. Bombalski, first down, 50, 45, inside Cane territory, runs over one of the Canes and gets knocked down, looks like inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Luke Bombalski, 5'8", 183-pound sophomore for the Golden Rams with 2 carries, and he's got the Golden Rams at the Cane 39-yard line already.
Had you seen the notes I had, the list of his games
Yes.
this year?
Yeah.
Very, very impressive, including 188 last week against Knox.
Yeah. Only one game, and that was a 49-yarder. That's it. Everything else over 100 yards on the season. Coming in at 1,239 yards, man in motion near side. Timmons will keep himself. Timmons runs over one of the Canes, 35, 33-yard line. Another big gain on first down. That was Morton in on the stop for the Canes, but not after a 7-yard pickup.
And Timmons also had big yardage last week in that win over Knox as Golden Rams amassed, was like 442 or something like that. I mean, just something ridiculous.
This is off to the Newcastle, Indiana game from Butler a number of years ago that lit up the scoreboard. Trips to the near side, a receiver to the left. Timmons going to keep himself 30. He's to the 25, outside the line. Numbers to the 20 to the 15. Shoved out of bounds, but not until he gets near the 10-yard line. And Andre Jackson shoves him out of bounds. And it looks to be a first down and goal to go for the Golden Rams.
Looks like they're going to put it right on the 10, huh? That's a 23-yard gain.
Not a lot of penetration early on by the Red Hurricane defensive line. Ball far hash, trips to the near side, a receiver to the left. Bombalski next to Timmons in the backfield and a first down and goal to go. 6-0, Newcastle lead it, delayed handoff. This time the Canes are right there, and that's going to be no gain or a loss on the play. Quarterback, outside linebacker Chris Hood in on the stop, and that's going to go back to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, I think he lost 2 on that one.
Yep.
It was the delay that really allowed the Canes to penetrate.
And Chris Hood was coming from his outside linebacker spot, and nobody touched number 4, and he made the first hit and then was joined by his fellow teammates. Trips far side, a receiver to the left. Trips near side, I should say, receiver to left. Timmons in the shotgun, looks, rolls, wants to throw, does. That's going to be short in the end zone and incomplete. The intended receiver was Drake Buford. 5'11", 155-pound senior. Pass was short. And it'll be now third down and goal to go for the Golden Rams. 7:16 to go, opening quarter. Newcastle 6 and Highlands nothing. But the Golden Rams, you would think, might even try to pick up 78 yards on this play and then go for it on fourth down. Trips to the near side, a receiver to the left. 4 seconds to go on the play clock. And direct snap this time to Bobalski gets a few yards on the play, maybe about 3 of it back, inside the 10, close to the 9. Alex Fox in on the tackle for the Canes, and that's going to bring up 4th down. So an impressive drive here by the Golden Rams, and it looks like they're going to attempt a field goal now of about 26 yards.
Is it Bombalski, the kicker?
Yes, it is.
All right.
This is 26 yards. High snap. They get it down. Kick's got the distance and is no good. So the Canes hold and will take over following the missed field goal. 6:31 to play, opening quarter. We'll take time. News Radio 1200 WKST.
Washington Center Physical Therapy has been helping residents of the Newcastle area since 1987. They are the official physical therapy center for Newcastle Athletics and specializes in orthopedic problems, especially the knee and shoulder. When your doctor orders physical therapy, by law, you have a choice of where to go. Choose Washington Center Physical Therapy for your best outcome. Visit them on the web, WashingtonCentrepT.com. Washington Center Physical Therapy in downtown Newcastle, a proud sponsor of high school sports.
Home and away, your station for Newcastle High School football. News Radio 1200 WKST.
1st and 10 for the Canes at their own 20-yard line. Chris Hood is going to keep, and Chris Hood's going to lose 5 yards.
Yeah, he's not going to get 61 on that one.
No, he's not, and that's big number 54 in on the stop, Khalil Long, 6'6", 271-pound senior, and Chris Hood had absolutely nowhere to go.
No, they were on top of him as soon as the ball was snapped.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. So Chris Hood with a 61-yard touchdown run. Hood picked off 3 times last week, 11 on the season, 2 receivers to each side of the field. On a 2nd out and 15, Hood will throw far side, and that's incomplete. Intended for Andre Jackson, or check that, looks like Wells. Even if Mike catches that, that doesn't go anywhere.
I was going to say they were both there.
There's a flag on the far side. Let's see if that's not an illegal formation on the Canes. I don't know if they had enough on the line of scrimmage on that far side. Again, as we've seen throughout the year, there's got to be a conference. Still no signal. Pass interference against the Canes. So that was a little pick play on that far sideline by Newcastle, trying to get Mike Wells open. So this will, wait a second now. Coach Girardi may decline it because it would bring up 3rd down at 15.
Right. So you want 3rd and 15, or do you want, 2nd and 22?
Yeah, in fact, the referee's going to come over, and I think Coach Girardi wants to know how many yards that penalty is going to be, because the ball's at the 15-yard line, so it's going to get inside the 10, probably around the 7, but see if he wants a 3rd down and 15 instead. Yep, he does. So he's going to, Golden Rams will decline it. So that will bring up 3rd down for the Canes, and they need again 15 to pick up the 1st down. That was just not a good-looking play. So Wells was split out there. That'll put Malik Jefferson now in the backfield with Chris Hood. Does Chris maybe just call his own number, get a few yards, and put it in better field position? Yep, and I'll tell you what, Chris Hood's going to get another 1st down, 40, 45, across midfield to the 49-yard line. Ball popped loose, but they say Hood was down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Canes at the Golden Ram 49-yard line. That's the same play as the touchdown.
I was going to say, my goodness. Another 35 yards. It gets the Canes out of the hole, and another 1st down.
He's at about 100 yards already. 1st down and 10 for the Canes inside the Golden Rams territory. And on that play, wouldn't have mattered much if they did take the penalty.
Yeah, 3 carries for 92 now for Hood, and that includes that 4-yard loss to start this drive.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jefferson in the backfield with Chris Hood. Man in motion near side, and that's going to be a give to Andre. Check that. That is Wilkins, and he loses 3 yards on the play as he gets flipped up. by Braden White. So Wilkins had nowhere to go, and that'll bring up second down. They're going to only give him a 2-yard loss there, 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13. Just joined us, 6-0, Newcastle, on a 61-yard run by Chris Hood. He almost did it again. Wells into the game. Wilkins will come out. Malik Jefferson still in the backfield. Canes will send 2 receivers to each side of the field. Hood in the pistol with Jefferson to his left. Whistle, and did the Canes call timeout? That's what it looks like it was. It is a delay game against the Canes. So to bring up second down and long. So coming up on 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Newcastle leads it 6-0. So 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the quarter on a second down at 18. Kind of sounds like Chris Hood yardage. Huh?
It sure does.
Wells split by himself here to the near side of the field. 2 receivers to the right. Jefferson in the backfield with Chris Hood, man in motion. And we're going to get a double reverse. We're going to get a Mike Wells pass, and he's got a receiver wide open. Caught 15, 10, 5. That is a touchdown for the Newcastle Red Hurricane, right in the hands of Owen Severino. Mike Wells with a touchdown pass, and Newcastle leads it 12-0. Now that's Michael's 4th pass. I was looking at that earlier. I think that's only his 4th pass of the season, and it is.
Well, once a quarterback, always a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
For Chris Wells, or for Michael Wells.
Now the Golden Rams got caught peeking in the backfield on that play, the double reverse.
Well, and I was just getting ready to say, hey, Tyler Leakin's got a touch because he's been...
That was actually Caden Cox. Caden Cox, number 2, had it first, flipped it to Wells.
Oh, I thought that was Leakins that had it.
It looks like Canes are going to go for the deuce here to try to get that back following the missed extra point. Leakins split here to the near side of the field. Jefferson in the backfield with Chris Hood. So Mike's first touchdown pass of the season. Now they throw it, end zone, incomplete. So they faked the pass to Malik Jefferson, who was coming out of the backfield, and then Hood came back to the near side, and there was nobody there but brown jerseys. I'll tell you what, the Golden Rams need to regroup here in a hurry because they're already down 12-0. And that's just looking in the back, getting caught looking in the backfield on that one. I mean, your defensive backs, you can't let anybody get behind you. And that's exactly what happened on that play. Well designed, well executed too by the Canes, and that was what, a 2nd and 18?
Yeah.
So the Canes had a 3rd down and 15 in this drive, which they converted for a 1st down and a big run by Chris Hood. Then on 2nd down and 18, double reverse pass, Chris Wells to Owen Severino. And it's Mike Wells to Owen Severino, and it's 12-0. Wow. We still got 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Halpors has it teed up again. He just kicked one short right around the 35-yard line the last time. And about the same thing here, a little deeper to the 30. And the Rams will carry it across the 40, 45-yard line. Going to be great field position at the 48-yard line. You know, that's one question I never asked Joe throughout the season. Why? That happens. Braden White.
What, the short kick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great field position for the Rams. 1st and 10 right at midfield. And listen, the way this team can score points and the way they can hit it, and with the big arm quarterback of Chandler Timmons, this one's long from over. Canes off to a good start, but it's still early with 3:50 to go in the first quarter and 2 receivers to each side of the field. Bobalski in the backfield with Timmons, and he'll get the football up the middle, and he'll get inside Newcastle territory to the 48-yard line. He'll pick up 2, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8, and that was Marcus Evans, the defensive end, and what a year he has had for the Canes. Marcus Evans.
Called his name a lot this year for sure.
Marcus Evans with 33 tackles on the season for the Red Hurricanes, 4 tackles for losses too. 2 receivers, once again, same formation to each side of the field. In the shotgun, Timmons the throw, does here near side, pass caught, 1st down, 40, near the 35-yard line, and that's Burford, and that'll be a 1st down.
A nice timing pattern here on the near side.
Just a little pitch and catch before he turned around.
Yeah, give him 13.
Yeah, Chandler Timmons had the ball right on him. Good tackle by Andre Jackson here on the near side. So the Golden Rams back in business. 1st and 10 at the Cane 35-yard line. Trips to the far side. A receiver here to the right, Landon Signorella. And Timmons is going to keep it. Nice move, 35-30. He's to the 25. Cuts inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Austin Kelly in on the stop for the Red Hurricane, and that'll be another Golden Ram 1st down. So the Rams moving the football, but Canes defense, unlike what the Golden Rams defense has done, put up a stop in the first series. 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Red Hurricane. Trips to the near side, a receiver to the left. Bobalski in the backfield with Timmons on a 1st and 10, and Timmons will keep. Timmons will get inside the 20-yard line down near the 19. That'll be a gain of about 4.
Bobalski, a pretty fair lead blocker, too.
Austin Kelly in on another tackle.
As well as a 1,000-yard rusher for the Golden Rams.
Trips near side, a receiver to the left. Timmons with Bobalski behind him, and the Canes jump, pre-snap penalty, encroachment, and that'll be 5 yards for the Golden Rams. So now that'll bring up second down and 1. Be interesting play call. See what the Rams elect to do on this. The ball's on the far hash. Burford comes in with the play from the sideline on a 2nd down and a yard to go for the Golden Rams. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Pistol formation. 2nd and short. Yep, Timmons going to throw. High pass caught. 10-yard line, 5-yard line, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Golden Rams. So the Golden Rams cut into the Red Hurricane lead. And White, the receiver, catching the pass. So Bobalski with the point after, missed the field goal, of course, just a little while ago for the Golden Rams. Good snap. Kick is up, and kick is good. So that makes it a 12-7 game now, Rob Gregory. Some missed tackles that time by the Red Hurricane. They had a chance of bringing White down, but whiffed on a couple of chances there for Chandler Timmons. Now on the season, that is his 15th touchdown pass. And White's first touchdown of the year. So 12-7, 1:32 to play.
Yeah, White did a great job of weaving his way through that Canes linebacking core and finding the end zone. 5 plays, 50 yards on that drive.
Yeah, great field position off the kickoff, and the Golden Rams took advantage of it. Now the interesting thing will be to see what the Golden Rams do defensively, because the Canes have had some big offensive plays here tonight.
Well, it's been either feast or famine for this Canes team, really. I mean, you look at the first quarter play sheet. First of all, they've only run 8 plays. But 3 of them have gone 61 for a touchdown, 35 on a 3rd and 14, and then the 57-yard touchdown pass from Michael Wells to Owen Severino. So let's see what the Canes come up with here on this drive.
Kick here to the near side, and it goes off on one of the Canes, and if he lets it go, it's going to go out of bounds. Newcastle would have had great field position had he had the Canes just let that one go. That's a misplay there by Kayvon Gardner.
Boy, instead, having the ball at the 15.
Yeah, that would have been at the 35-yard line if he just let it go. So, unforced error by Newcastle. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line, although that really hasn't bothered them in their first couple of possessions tonight, that's for sure.
Not so much.
Winner of this takes on Bell Vernon next week. The top seed in Class 4A play. All right, Chris Hood in the backfield. I think that might be Wells next to him on this series. And little flip out of the backfield. And getting back to the line of scrimmage is Mike Wells, but that was played very, very well. Long there once again for the Golden Rams. So no gain. 2nd down and 10 for the Red Hurricane. Bobalski there also too for Highlands. Canes quickly at the line of scrimmage as we come up on 60 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Hood, handoff. Out to the 20-yard line is Mike Wells. They'll mark him at the 20, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Wells getting up slowly here, and he's hobbling. And he's going to come out for this play. And that'll be Malik Jefferson who will come in for Wells on a 3rd down and 5. And the Canes will send trips to the right, receiver to the left, see if Hood doesn't call his own number here. Chris looks to throw, being pressured, rolls far side, throws on the run, man wide open, caught 1st down across the 33-yard line.
I think that diamond's leaking.
Yes, it is. Tyler Leakins in on the reception, which could be the final play of the quarter. The Canes don't have to run a play, but quickly they get to the line of scrimmage. So Newcastle on a 3rd and 5 converts. Give to Hood. Hood takes a direct snap over the 40, out near the 41-yard line for Newcastle. That'll be a gain of nearly 7 yards on 1st down. Make it 8. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter here tonight in round 1 of the Class 4 playoff game between Newcastle and Highlands. Our score, Newcastle 12, Highlands 7. You're listening to Newcastle High School football at News Radio 1200 WKST and 97.9 FM.
Gas continues to rise, so why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Take the bus to work, school, doctor's appointments, or shopping, with stops throughout Lawrence County and weekday service to Pittsburgh. Perfect for those of you who drive it every day, saving yourself gas money and wear and tear on your vehicle. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or route schedules, log on to NewcastleTransitAuthority.org and the Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Newcastle High School football, sponsored in part by the Newcastle Area Transit Authority. News Radio 1200 WKST.
12-7 the score. Newcastle with the lead. You can catch the audio as well as video at tribhssn.triblive.com. Also, you can catch the stream at lcsportsnet.com. Also on the Lawrence County Sports Network Facebook page. And we are also streaming it on our app as well, which is free. Head to forevernorthwestpa.com, and you can hear it there. So can't blame us that you didn't hear the game tonight or see it.
That's right. Our friend James Dotson telling us that Mohawk leading 7-6 after the first quarter. And a Laurel score here, too. Where'd it go? Newcastle News, the paper of record, Laurel 15, McGuffey 2, with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
2nd and short for the Canes. They've been moving the football all night long so far. Severino in motion, and the give to Jefferson. Didn't need much, didn't get much, 1st down. only needed about a yard, got about a yard and a half for the first down out near the 44-yard line. So the Canes with another first down. Andre Jackson coming into the game. Malik Jefferson heads out. So the Canes with the lead on the move again. 5 empty set for the Canes, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, so Chris Hood by himself. That tells me he may keep this one. Hood drops, now he wants to throw, now being pressured. Here to the near sideline, incomplete. It went off Leakins' hands, and it was up in the air for grabs, Rob.
Oh.
Brock White, I don't think, saw that.
No, I don't think any of those brown jerseys saw it. But
wow.
Leakins sure did, and I only saw the back of his head, but I already know what his eyes were doing.
Yeah, that was not, that was just a...
Right off his hands.
Yeah, right off his hands at the 50-yard line, and that was up for grabs. Fortunately for Newcastle, it hit the turf, incomplete, 2nd out of 10.
That was precarious, to say the least.
3, again, empty set. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Chris Hood with nearly 100 yards rushing already in the game. Severino in motion, right to left. Hood will try to get it over on that far side. Caught by Wilkins, and he is pasted right there for no gain. I mean, he was nailed. Timmons in on the tackle. He's a big boy. He's 6'4", 208, and I think that's probably cheating it.
Is that underselling it a little bit?
Oh, I know going on the field talking to Joe. He's a big young man, that's for sure. So 3rd down and 10, but this is the down, of course, that the Golden Rams have had trouble with tonight in stopping the Canes.
This has been the Chris Hood down. You can give him 100 yards, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. 2 receivers to each side of the field. 3rd down and 10. Hood with time, now being pressured. He's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a sack, and the Canes will have to punt the football for the first time tonight. Daniel Timmons in on the stop, I think. So we saw Mike Wells leave earlier, but he's coming out there to punt, and we know one thing, that number 3 can turn field position in a hurry here.
Boy, he's been doing it time and time again this second half of the season.
Ball's at the 42-yard line.
See if you can do it again.
Plenty of time to go on the play clock. 4th down and 12 to go for the Canes. High snap. Wells will bring it down. Kick is away, and a high booming kick. And the Golden Rams are going to let that bounce. Does take a Highlands roll and down at the 28-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams from there. Well, we got a good one here in this first round Class 4A matchup. 8-9 game, you would think that. Canes in their first 2 possessions scoring touchdowns, so the Golden Rams holding Newcastle for the first time tonight. Last time, Highlands scoring their first touchdown on a Chandler Timmons pass. 2 receivers right and left. Bobalski in the backfield. Again, that hard count of the Canes almost jumped. Plenty of time to go on the play clock, 14 seconds. Timmons in the pistol with Bobalski behind him, and he will hand it off, and he'll get to the 30, maybe the 31. That's it. Good job by the Canes up front. Mike Wells there and Devin Palmer for Newcastle. Bring up 2nd down and 7. Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from our old friends, Don Rebel and Chris Harlan. And Chris Harlan will be giving out grades at halftime.
Professor Harlan.
Professor Harlan. Back. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Timmons a throw. Again, short pass here near side. Caught 35-40. That'll be enough for a first down to Braden White. So White gets over the 41-yard line. We've yet to see Landon Signorella get involved in the passing game, Rob.
Yeah, the leading receiver for the Rams.
And we haven't seen Timmons air one out yet. It's basically been those short passes, was one of those bubble screens that scored the touchdown on the previous drive. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Timmons here to Signorella. Short pass. Jackson tackles him at the 50-yard line. There's a flag down. This could be a legal man downfield on Highlands. The flag's at the 49-yard line. Let's see what it is. And we'll see what that happens to be. Yep, that's exactly what it was. A legal man downfield. When you see that, and it's in the middle of the playing field, and there's no blocking going on, it's pretty easy to figure out what that infraction was. It really didn't need to get down because the ball was here on the near sideline.
Right.
What the lineman was doing in the middle of the field, that far downfield.
Right.
That's a big mistake by Highlands because that would have been second and short. Now it's first and 15. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. And Timmons will keep himself, and he gets tackled right there, maybe for a yard gain. Great open field tackle, Malik Jackson. Because if he doesn't get him, check that, that wasn't Jackson. Instead, that was Bryce Wood. If Wood doesn't come up with that, that's a big gain.
Yeah, there's a lot of turf in front of Timmons if that stop isn't made.
And he's got over 800 yards rushing, does Chandler Timmons this season, too. So he can sling it, he can run it. Just a junior, too. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Signorelli here by himself on the near side. Timmons going to keep it, and he's not going to get much. Maybe a yard or 2, that's it. This will bring up 3rd down and long. Boy, that penalty really got Highlands behind the chains. Alex Fox hit on the tackle, and now it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, you were looking at a 2nd and 1 with that completion at midfield, and right now it's a 3rd and 13 at the 38, so.
12-7, Newcastle with the lead. And Highlands trying to convert a 3rd down at about 13 to go for a 1st down. Again, not a lot of different formations. They're going to go 2 receivers to each side of the field this time. 4-man rush for the Canes, and that's what they're bringing. And pressure on Timmons, gets away twice. Has some room to run if he wants to. Pass over the middle, high and incomplete. White was the intended receiver, and he was open, but Timmons just overshot as a receiver that time. And for the first time tonight, the Golden Rams will have to punt the football on 4th and 13.
Is that Wilkins back there defending, I
Yep.
think? He got a little bit of air trying to knock it away from White.
So Owen Severino back deep to receive Bobalski's punt. So he runs it, kicks it, punts it. On a 4th down and 13. Newcastle with a 5-point lead here this evening. Snap. Kick is up, and it's out there. High floating kick. Severino, nice catch at the 35-yard line. We'll keep it right here with 6:55 to play here in the first half. Ken LeBovie, Rob Gregory, Marie Atwell, our producer-engineer this evening. Game 11, Week 10 of the high school football season, Round 1 of the WPIAL playoffs.
Yeah, I think summer's over, by the way.
You think? You think?
See, you got the gloves on, huh?
It was over. It was over last week. How about that lovely week I had off, huh? That was some great weather, wasn't it? I mean, there was one day that thankfully it didn't rain and got up to a whole 45 degrees.
Well, even in Pittsburgh, I mean, lows are in the 20s.
That'd be a little chilly last Friday night at the pit, no?
No. We were inside, though, so it was fine.
Chris Hood this time goes under center. Hand off to Jefferson. And he'll get a couple, that's it. Call it 2, 2nd down and 8. Bobalski in on the stop for the Golden Rams. All of a sudden now, both defenses have come to play in this quarter, Rob.
Yeah, it's almost like they got their defensive pants on about a quarter late. They showed up.
Canes' first 2 possessions, touchdowns. 61-yard run by Chris Hood, and then a double reverse pass of 50 yards from Mike Wells to Owen Severino. Wells in motion this time. Hood will keep himself, and Hood will get stopped for maybe a yard gain. That's it. Now, the Rams were pointing to say they have the football, but it'll be 3rd down. So now this will bring up another 3rd down and long. 3rd and about 7 for the Canes. See how the Rams play this one defensively. Wells comes into the ball game for Newcastle. Bryce Wood comes out. See what the Canes try to do here with 5:33 on a running clock. Just 5 seconds ago on the play clock for Newcastle. They may not get this one off. 2 seconds, 1 second. No, they didn't. Well, the play clock's at 0. Nobody sees it. Finally, they do. Nobody saw it there for about 2-3 seconds. Wow. So Newcastle, which has 3 timeouts in the bank, that's where nobody's watching the play clock.
Yeah.
Because now, instead of 3rd and 7, you're looking at 3rd and a dozen.
Yeah, you go from manageable to not really.
Although, do the Canes have them right where they, where they want them in this
That might
game?
be true.
We've called this before, 3rd down and 12.
I see a 3rd and 14 that was rather successful from Chris Hood in the first quarter.
This time, 2 receivers to the right, only 1 to the left. Jefferson in the backfield with Hood. Chris going to air it out. Far sideline. Got a man out there. It's Wells, and he's got it inside the 30 all the way down to the 20-yard line, it looks like. So Chris Hood on a deep pass to Mike Wells and a big hookup down to the Golden Ram 25-yard line. Wow. On a 3rd and 12 yards.
Well, you're right, Kenny. Give him 3rd and long all night long,
Yeah.
apparently, huh? 42 on the connection.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hood standing at his own 30, ball far hash. Chris will give it to Jefferson, and Jefferson will get stopped just shy of the 20 of the 21-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd out and 6.
You got to know these big plays on 3rd and long are just killing Don
Oh.
Girardi right now. I mean, oh my goodness.
And now the Canes with 3 timeouts left, 4:23 to play. The best thing for them, obviously, would be to take as much time off on the clock here as they possibly can. The Golden Rams will be receiving the second half kickoff. Receivers right and left, slot right is Severino. Ball far hash. And they've got a blitz coming on here, but it's Chris Hood that's going to run the football inside the 15-yard line. The Rams were coming, and Malik Jefferson got nailed on that play. But he didn't have the pigskin.
Wow, what a great decision by Hood. And picking up just enough to move the sticks.
I think that was Bobalski who
Made that
gave a shot
Made
to
that stick in the backfield.
Jefferson. So 1st down and 10 for Newcastle. At the 14-yard line, they're looking to extend their 12-7 lead. Chris Hood with the play from the sideline. Receivers right and left. Severino in that slot to the left. So that means Savage is in the game at the tight end spot to the right here. Jefferson in the backfield. Hood rolls far side. Chris throws end zone. Touchdown Newcastle. Chris Hood with the 14-yard touchdown pass, and Newcastle extends their lead to 18-7.
I think that was Mateo Savage.
Yep, Mateo Savage on the touchdown reception. Of course, got that big 2-point conversion a few weeks ago against Chartiers Valley.
And he wasn't the open guy. Michael Wells was in the corner of the end zone waving wildly. Wide open.
Look back to the key play of that drive, that 3rd down and 12, picking up 42 yards. Kane's going to go for the 2-point conversion here to try to make it a 20-7 game. And Hood will go under center once again. Likes to roll out in this formation. 8 seconds to go on the play clock. Receivers right and left, slot left. Jefferson in the backfield. And Chris going to loft it up into the corner of the end zone, and the conversion is incomplete, intended for Mike Wells. We'll take a timeout with 3:27 to go until halftime. Newcastle 18, Highlands 7. You're listening to Red Hurricane Football at News Radio 1200 WKSD.
GNC Community Federal Credit Union.
How is your bank treating you? Do you feel like just another person in a really large crowd? Well, maybe it's time to look for an alternative financial institution like GNC Community Federal Credit Union. GNC is a safe, consumer-friendly financial service provider that offers consumers with alternatives. Visit GNCFCU.com or stop by one of their 2 locations on South Jefferson Street or 2907 Wilmington Road, Newcastle. Federally insured by NCUA.
After the game, it's the post-game show. News Radio 1200 WKST Newcastle.
Welcome back. Ken LeBovie, Rob Gregory here this evening, and we're 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in the first half. Interesting drive here for the Golden Rams, Rob, because of the fact they get the football at the start of the second half.
Yeah, they need to make hay here.
So the Canes with their third touchdown of the night. Big play, 3rd down and 12. Chris Hood, Mike Wells hooked up for a 42-yard gainer. And Mateo Savage with a touchdown reception from Chris Hood. This time, a little deeper kick, fielded, and now bobbled, picked up at the 16 or the 20, and runs into one of his players, maybe to the 25-yard line, is Brian Randolph. So, Golden Rams will have it, looks like right at the 25, and can they do anything with it prior to intermission?
Yeah, just as crucial for the Canes defense, because they may be looking at back-to-back possessions here.
2 receivers to each side of the field. We have yet to see, though, the Golden Rams try to stretch the field against Newcastle. A lot of short passes to start things off. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Obalski in the backfield with Timmons, and he'll look to throw. Steps up, throws here to the near sideline, up for grabs, and that might have been picked off. And there's a battle for it, and it is. They're going to call it Newcastle High School football.
That's Austin Kelly.
That is Austin Kelly, who went up and took it away. And from Braden White, took it away from him. That ball seemed to hang up there for quite a long period of time. And Newcastle with the football at the Golden Ram 49-yard line.
Wow, now that switches things around.
Yep, with 3:13 to play here until halftime. Newcastle looking to extend that lead again. They lead it already, 18-7.
Yeah, that ball just hung up there forever. Credit Austin Kelly for getting position.
Tight formation this time for the Canes. Receiver here to the near side. They're going to pitch far side. And that's Gardner this time. And Gardner will get only 2 yards on the play to the 47-yard line. But we've seen this from the Rams tonight at times. Looking good defensively. Brock White, linebacker, hit on the stop. Second out and 8.
Stout against the run until they get to 3rd and long. And then all of a sudden everything collapses.
By the way, the Golden Rams with all 3 timeouts as well for second down and 8. Chris Hood looks, boy, he's got all kind of time. Flag down. This is going to come back on a hold, and Hood's going to keep himself 45-40, and Chris will just jog out of bounds there, and a somewhat of a close to a late hit. White shoves him out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
That was pretty close.
But this is coming back anyhow on a hold. Flag sitting back at the Newcastle 48-yard line. That will negate a big play on a first down, but this is going to be a hold against the Kings. Yep. So take it 10 back, and that'll be back to the 38-yard line, Rob. And Newcastle needs to get to the Highlands 39 to pick up a first down.
Boy, so that ends up being a 15-yard penalty.
Yep. So Hood, who had all kind of time, and maybe that's why, because there was a little grab of a jersey there.
Your point's valid, though. I mean, he has had time back there so far in the first half tonight. That's now, what, a 3rd and 23?
Second.
Or 2nd and 23?
Receivers right and left. Severino in the slot to the right. Savage tight end to the right. Hood, ball far hash. Chris looks to throw. They're going to try to set up a screen. They do to Wells. Wells 40. Wells 45-50. Michael to the 45. He's to the 40. First down for Newcastle. Inside the 40, and another big play by the Canes. And that'll be another Red Hurricane first down to the 39-yard line. Well, Chris Hood with total yards in this first half, he's just racking them up, and Wells limping once again. And he's upset, but has to come out of the game here. Clock continues to run. We're coming up on 2 minutes to play until halftime. Newcastle with all their timeouts. And so that's plenty of time with just under 2 minutes to go, looking to extend the lead. Receivers right and left, slot left. I believe that's Gardner in the backfield with Chris Hood. This one gets nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Tyler Bender in on the tackle of Malik Jefferson, that time. So no gain. Second down, 10. Clock running with 1:35 to play. Canes got 2 timeouts, but not taking one right here. So you would think that after this play is run, it's probably going to be real close to under a minute to go. Newcastle will send receivers wide to each side of the field. Severino in a slot to the left. Jefferson in the backfield with Chris Hood. Savage tight at left end. Ball near hash. Hood's going to let it go again deep. He's got a man out there, and that is incomplete. Good coverage by the Golden Rams that time. And Chris Hood here on the near hash threw that across the field, and the intended receiver was Andre Jackson. I mean, he let that go about 45 yards across the field.
I think Jackson had it in his hands.
That was pretty good coverage that time by
definitely.
Highlands.
Looks like the Canes have called a timeout.
They have on 3rd down and 10. Well, the strategy could be here. Do you need to pick it all up? I would think not. I think knowing Coach Coward, if they get 6-7 yards on this play, I think they're going for it on 4th.
Oh, absolutely.
So to recap it, it's 18-7 Newcastle, and it really has been the big play tonight for the Red Hurricane.
Yeah, Canes scoring on a 61-yard run by Chris Hood. Michael Wells on a trick play, 57-yard touchdown pass to Owen Severino. Mateo Savage has a touchdown catch of 14 yards from Hood. All 3 conversions have failed, though, for the Canes. That's where we get the 18.
Yeah, I mean, despite all that, it's an 18-7 game.
Right.
The Golden Rams are a play and being just right back in this thing. But they have really been bitten by the big play this evening, and that's Newcastle's speed doing that.
And when you have the ball and look like you can end the first half with it and throw an interception on the first play.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's really going to sting if the Canes can't get anything out of this drive.
3rd down, 10. 3 down linemen. They play that 3-5. Let's see if they do come with any pressure on Hood. Well, only sending 4. Hood's going to keep. Chris will get inside the 40-yard line down to the 37. That's it. Going to bring up actually the 38. That's only a gain of a yard, so it's going to bring up 4th down and 9. Surprised that the Rams aren't calling a timeout here. They've got 3 left. Wow. Especially getting the ball at the start of the second half. Newcastle will be happy to let this run. I'm going to be surprised the Canes let it run all the way down, take the 5 yards and punt.
Sure.
Still 10 seconds to go on the play clock. There's only going to be 16 seconds to go when they let this time run out. So it'll be a 4th down and 9 as Newcastle actually calls timeout and doesn't take the 5-yard penalty. Could we see Chris Hood throw one up in the end zone?
I think that's possible. He's got the arm for it, that's for sure.
So
I don't think you're going to have a 16-second play, though.
No, but why not? Anything deep has been pretty successful so far tonight.
Boy, that's true.
Winner of this one will travel to Bell Vernon a week from tonight in round 2 of the WPIAL playoffs. Bell Vernon, of course, the top seed in 4A play, and well-deserved, too.
Plum and Hampton, 7-7 at the half.
That's a bit of a surprise.
A little bit, yeah.
So 4th down, and look who's in the shotgun. It's Mike Wells.
That former quarterback, Mike Wells?
That is Mike Wells. I mean, I can't imagine Mike being able to throw a lot farther than Chris Hood. And he's going to step up. He's going to throw end zone. There's a man out there, too, and incomplete. And the Canes did have a receiver there. Was that Andre?
Is that Jackson again? Severino was there.
And Andre Jackson. Severino and Jackson, yep. Wells just kind of flicked it. And it went an easy 45 yards in the air.
Nothing wrong with that hand or that arm, that's for sure.
And 7 seconds to play.
Now don't sleep on the Rams here. They have big play potential too.
Timmons going under center, which he very rarely does. It's going to be a knee down. And the Golden Rams, I guess, will try to regroup. They'll get the ball at the start of the second half, and I'm telling you, that is going to be a huge series in this football game. Getting close to the top of the hour, so we'll tell you, you're listening to News Radio 1200, WKST Newcastle. Going to be a while before they start the clock here, and here at the end of the first half. So tell you what, Marie, let's take a 60-second timeout. We'll be back to Golden Ram Stadium. The score, Newcastle 18, Highlands 7. You're listening to Red Hurricane Football at News Radio 1200 WKST.
It's said that defense is the key to a championship team. This football season, when it comes to personal injury, you want the winning team of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George. They are your personal injury law firm. Football fans know the best defense is a good offense. When you're injured, let LGKG defend your rights by going after the injury compensation you deserve. Call Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George for a free consultation today, 724-658-8535, or go to LGKG.com. Good luck to all the teams this football season from Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George.
Welcome back here to Golden Ram Stadium. 18-7 is our score. Canes lead it, Rob Gregory, and boy, they did it early on, didn't they?
Scored twice in that first quarter. They got 5 plays tonight already, more than 25 yards.
Wow.
Including their first 2 scores of the game. 61-yard run from Chris Hood at 10:23, third play of the ball game. Kick failed. Canes led 6-0. Later in the first quarter, little trickeration. Michael Wells getting that arm fired up, hit Owen Severino from 57 yards out. The pass failed, and Canes led 12-0. Highlands' only score of the evening comes at the end of the first quarter. Chandler Timmons hitting Braden White from 14 yards out. The Luke Bombowski kick made it 12-7, but the Canes added another score before the half ended. Mateo Savage grabbing the 14-yard touchdown pass from Chris Hood. The pass conversion failed, and the Canes lead 18-7 here at the half.
And the Rams will have the ball to start things here in the second half, Rob. And they've been able to move the ball at times. I think they're going to look back and kick themselves on a couple of those plays in that first series, because it certainly did look like they were in get into the end zone and tie the game early on. They took it right down the field against the Canes.
Well, I mean, you got big plays on that side, too, particularly in the first quarter. You've got a 13-yard run from Bombalski, a 23-yard run from Timmons. Timmons hitting a couple receivers for 13 and 14 yards. But the Canes are able to stop Highlands in their first drive and force that missed field goal.
Yeah.
And then here in the second quarter, I mean, 12, 13, 14, I only have Highlands with 13 yards of offense in that third quarter.
Wow.
You got a couple 1-yard runs from Timmons. He hit White for 9. He threw that interception. Then the -1 at the end of the half. I mean, it was all Newcastle in that second quarter. And even so, the Canes were only able to put up 1 score.
All right, we've got TribLive coming up. Marie, let's take a couple of minutes time out before we do that, and we'll be back to Golden Ram Stadium in a while here, taking a bit of a break. We're at halftime. Class 4A first-round playoff game. Newcastle 18, Highlands 7. You're listening to Red Hurricane Football at News Radio 1200 WKST.
By Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
If you have a lot of high-interest debt to pay each month, the cost can quickly become overwhelming, and it can be easy to fall deeper into debt. But it doesn't have to be this way. With a quick call to American Financing, you can learn about options to consolidate debt with help from your mortgage. You'll get a much lower interest rate, and you'll only have one manageable monthly payment to focus on. It's a strategic solution that can mean up to $1,000 in monthly savings, maybe more. You really owe it to yourself to get a free mortgage review from American Financing, so you can see just how much money you can save. There's no pressure, no obligation, no upfront or hidden fees. They even be able to postpone 2 mortgage payments. But you've got to call right now. 888-900-1828. That's 888-900-1828. Or apply online at AmericanFinancing.net.
American Financing, NMLS 182334, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Folks, our most fundamental freedoms are being threatened by politicians who can't even balance their own checking accounts, let alone our nation's budget. There's a concerted effort to censor conservatives and a push to replace your liberty with American Marxism. There's a simple step you can take to help save our great nation from American Marxism. Join AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC members gain access to money-saving benefits, a website, a news app full of content from preeminent writers, and a magazine filled with content not available anywhere else. AMAC gives you what the mainstream media won't, the truth. But most importantly, AMAC has your back and mine on Capitol Hill. With over 2 million freedom-loving members, AMAC is a voice for conservatives that cannot be ignored. And remember, the great discounts and benefits. Stand with me and over 2 million constitutional conservatives by joining today at amac.us. That's AMAC.us, amac.us.
WPIAL halftime show sponsored by SC Tire, Export Tire on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Week 1 of the WPIAL playoffs. We welcome you to our exclusive coverage. Hope you're enjoying the first half of the game you're watching or listening to. Export Tire, they work hard to earn your business. They have your size tire in stock installed today. All the best brands at the best tire prices. Shop for tires online. Check out their Google reviews. We welcome in Dr. Harlan. He's got a whole folder. They still use manila folders? Is that what they use? Manila folder full of grades to hand out here. It's the final grades from the 2021 season, Mr. Harlan. How are you?
Good. It's time to dig into the grade book and see who did well this year.
Well, you have the information handy. You are ready to... I know a lot of students are a little worried. They're filled with trepidation.
This was a good year.
Ease the burden of those students.
Let's start with history class, because there's a couple schools here, a couple teams that did pretty good in this. An A for Leechburg. Let's start out with them. Qualified for the WPIAL playoffs for the first time since 1988. Ended a 31-year drought of not making the playoffs. A big year for them to get in the playoffs. One of the stories of the year, I think, for a program like that. An A for them in history. Another A in history for Laurel, a team that had a great season, undefeated season, first since 1977. For Coach Brian Cooper, running back Luke McCoy really came out and was up among the leading rushers this year. So an A for Laurel in history, because quite a season the Spartans have had.
Well, you always give those good grades to those Lawrence County schools, don't you, there, Dr. Harlan?
That is my homeland up there.
Okay.
How about North Catholic? I'm going to give an A in algebra to North Catholic. Because, some people are just good with numbers. You look at this North Catholic team, they've had a favorite number this year. It's 0. They've really been a fan of 0 this year. 5 times that defense has shut people out. 0 also the number of games they've lost this season for the Allegheny 7 champions. So very defensive-minded as they head into the playoffs. An A in algebra for North Catholic. How about another one here? It's only a B. Not everybody gets an A. Here's a B for Beaver for creative writing. Because I don't know of any team in the WPIAL has had a more creative season. Definitely no team with more drama than what Beaver has had this year. Twice they won in overtime. 2 other wins by less than a touchdown. The only thing they couldn't write was something a lot of teams haven't been able to do, is a win over Aliquippa. But he's been able to quite fit that into their script this year. But otherwise, quite a drama-filled year for Beaver. So let's give them a B in creative writing.
We got some more grades. The good doctor is getting on a roll, and he will hand them out when the halftime show continues on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Stop today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires, and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires, and we do them right. If it has the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire exporter.
We thank SE Tire, Expert Tire. They help us get to school, and school we're talking about grades. Grades from 2021, Dr. Harlan. Continue on.
Chemistry class. We got a couple teams here in chemistry getting A's. Mount Lebanon and Moon. I'm going to give both of them an A in chemistry because I think they've both shown what having a senior class can do. You know, that chemistry, having been together for you look at both these teams, they're both undefeated, both number one seeds in the playoffs, and a lot of it has to do with that class. I mean, you look at Mount Lebanon, they've got a senior quarterback, running back, wide receiver tandem that's been good all year. Moon has a big running back as a senior and an offensive line that's all senior. So Bob Palco and Ryan Lynn, the two coaches, there's no doubt they appreciate that chemistry that it takes to build a team up to be a co-contender like they both did this year. So A's to Mount Lebanon and Moon, both for chemistry this year. I'm going to get an A in shop class. That was always one of my favorite back in school. Shop class, you build a footstool or you metal shop, you make a box. I'm giving an A to Steel Valley because of what Ray Brazo has done over the last few years. And he's had an interesting coaching career. He's taken them from Steel Valley to West Mifflin, back to Steel Valley. You know, he's been back there at Steel Valley now 3 years back at his alma mater. And he's really turned them into a program here again. You know, into a contender. He's had a couple tough years. Last year they only won one game. And yet here they are in his third season.
WPIAL Halftime Show, sponsored by SE Tire, Export Tire on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Week 1 of the WPIAL playoffs. We welcome you to our exclusive coverage. Hope you're enjoying the first half of the game you're watching or listening to. Export Tire, they work hard to earn your business. They have your size tire in stock installed today. All the best brands at the best tire prices. Shop for tires online. Check out their Google reviews. We welcome in Dr. Harlan. He's got a whole folder. They still use manila folders? Is that what they use? Manila folder full of grades to hand out here. It's the final grades from the 2021 season, Mr. Harlan. How are you?
Good. It's time to dig into the grade book and see who did well this year.
Well, you have the information handy. You are ready to – I know a lot of students are a little worried. They're filled with trepidation.
This was a good year. This was a good year.
Ease the burden of those students.
Let's start with history class because there's a couple of schools here, a couple of teams that did pretty good in this. An A for Leechburg. Let's start out with them. Qualified for the WPIAL playoffs for the first time since 1988. Ended a 31-year drought of not making the playoffs. Big year for them to get in the playoffs. One of the stories of the year, I think, for a program like that. An A for them in history. Another A in history for Laurel, a team that had a great season, undefeated season, first since 1977 for Coach Brian Cooper. Running back Luke McCoy really came out and was up among the leading rushers this year. So an A for Laurel in history because quite a season the Spartans have had.
Well, you always give those good grades to those Lawrence County schools, don't you, there, Dr. Harlan?
That is my homeland up there.
Okay.
How about North Catholic? I'm going to give an A in algebra to North Catholic because you got, some people are just good with numbers. You look at this North Catholic team, they've had a favorite number this year. It's 0. They've really been a fan of 0 this year. 5 times that defense has shut people out. 0 also the number of games they've lost this season. for the Allegheny 7 champions. So very defensive-minded as they head into the playoffs. An A in algebra for North Catholic. How about another one here? It's only a B. Not everybody gets an A. Here's a B for Beaver for creative writing. Because I don't know if any team in the WPIAL has had a more creative season. Definitely no team with more drama than what Beaver has had this year. Twice they won in overtime. 2 other wins by less than a touchdown. You know, the only thing they couldn't write was something a lot of teams haven't been able to do, is a win over Aliquippa.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's been able to quite fit that into their script this year. But otherwise, quite a drama-filled year for Beaver. So let's give them a B in creative writing.
We got some more grades. The good doctor is getting on a roll, and he will hand them out when the halftime show continues on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Need new tires in a hurry? SE Tire has your size tire in stock. Install today. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at SE Tire. We do tires and we do them right. Before you hit the open road, see the tire experts at Export Tire. We do tires and we do them right. If it has wheels, we have the tires. Export Tire, your commercial tire headquarters.
We thank SE Tire, Export Tire. They help us get to school, and school is what we're talking about. Grades, final grades from 2021, Dr. Harlan, continue on.
Chemistry class. We got a couple teams here in chemistry getting A's. Mount Lebanon and Moon. I'm going to give both of them an A in chemistry because I think they've both shown what having a senior class can do. You know, that chemistry of having been together for 3 years. You look at both of these teams, you know, both undefeated, both number 1 seeds in the playoffs, and a lot of it has to do with that senior class. I mean, you look at Mount Lebanon, they've got a senior quarterback, running back, wide receiver tandem that's been good all year. Moon has a big running back as a senior and an offensive line that's all senior. So Bob Palco and Ryan Lynn, the 2 coaches, there's no doubt they appreciate that chemistry that it takes to build a team up to be a WPIAL contender like they both did this year. So A's to Mount Lebanon and Moon, both for chemistry this year. I'm going to get an A in shop class. That was always one of my favorite back in school. Shop class, you build a footstool or you metal shop, you make a box. I'm giving an A to Steel Valley because of what Ray Brazo's done over the last few years. And he's had an interesting coaching career. It's taken him from Steel Valley to West Mifflin, back to Steel Valley. You know, he's been back there at Steel Valley now 3 years back at his alma mater. And he's really turned them into a program here again, you know, into a contender. He's had a couple tough years. Last year, they only won 1 game. And yet here they are in his 3rd season, number 1 seed in the WPIAL playoffs, and look like a contender again. Undefeated season and conference champion. They have the leading rusher in the backfield. That always helps too. But an A in shop for Steel Valley. I'm going to give an A in music to Jeanette. Yeah, they didn't have a great year. It wasn't always beautiful. Didn't always sound the way they wanted it to. And yeah, they did have to borrow a few members of the band to make their football team go. But I'm going to give them credit for what they did. I mean, they were in a tough spot, short on numbers. Coach Roy Hall in his last season, they made it on the field every week. I mean, they got out there every week, no forfeits. In this era where teams are forfeiting all the time, Jeanette stuck it out. They played them all the games, and they got 1 win. But kudos to Roy Hall as he leaves as coach and to the effort they put out this year just to get on the field every week. In the conference, that Eastern Conference, which isn't easy. I mean, they're playing good teams every week, so credit to them for what they did this year. And lastly, art class. We're going to give A's to Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson because sometimes, you know, it goes beyond football. These guys have made it almost an art in terms of qualifying for the playoffs and putting together good seasons. I mean, consider 27 years in a row now, Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson have each qualified for the playoffs. 27 in a row. That's incredible for 2 teams that consistent that you just don't miss. These are 2 teams that were in the championship game last year playing against each other. So it's not like they just barely sneak in every year. These are teams under, you know, this year under Coach Mike Warfield and Bill Chirpak they're contenders. I mean, they're coming in every year. They're trying to win titles. Another add-on to that, you consider Aliquippa now has made the playoffs 40 times in the last 42 years. They only missed twice in that 42-year span, once in 86, once in 94. But to me, that's an art now. I mean, they know how to get to the playoffs. Sure. So an A in art to Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson as they make another run in the postseason.
A very positive report card. All good grades.
It was good grades this year. It was a good season.
Yeah.
All good students, all good successes.
I totally agree. There were still some question marks coming into this season. And yeah, you mentioned some schools that, couldn't suit up on Fridays with a handful of forfeits that, again, is something that the league needs to watch. But all things considered, I agree. I think it was a very strong 2021 regular season. We hope this is the start of a strong 2021 postseason. We'll have it all the way right here on HSSN. Dr. Harlan, salute.
Thank you.
Thanks to Dr. Harlan for not letting us die on the table. Also to producer Chris Lackner. Enjoy the second half, and don't forget afterward the scoreboard show coming up. The halftime show sponsored by SC Tire and Export Tire. SC Tire, Route 51, Belle Vernon, Export Tire on Old William Penn Highway in Export. They work hard to earn your business, as do we. For Chris Harlan, I'm Don Rebel. Enjoy the second half here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
They had a rough year.
Sure did. I mean, and I'm going to look for another source again just to make sure because, an 11 seed traveling all that way.
Yes.
To knock off the 6.
Well, Rob, how many times
to get to the quarters? That's phenomenal. And, this is a Shenango team that lost to Union last week.
Right.
And Union, who had probably the toughest season of any of the local schools, only dressed 18 guys. And they were still able to beat Shenango last week. So,
yeah, it's not like they were going in the playoffs red hot.
That's right.
Right?
I'm seeing source after source after source that's saying that Shenango is leading 24-7 at the half. So good on the Wildcats.
Here,
I was just gonna say, other scores.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, 18-7 here. Canes with 3 scores in that first half, unable to be successful on a conversion. A lot of big plays in that first half. Chris Hood opened the scoring with a 61-yard touchdown run. He's got 107 yards on 8 carries in that first half.
How many yards passing?
104 yards passing, so he's over the 1,000 mark for passing for the season. He is about 160 shy of 1,000 rushing now. So if the Canes can find a way to get out of this first round and get themselves to Belle Vernon, you got a real shot at Chris Hood being a 1,000 guy.
How big is his first drive of the second half?
It was huge to begin with, but then when Highlands threw that interception with the ball with 3.5 to go left in the first half, negating any chance they had to maybe double up on scores from the end of the first half, beginning of the second half. So this makes this possession wildly crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's going to be interesting to see how I was expecting a little bit more out of the Golden Rams offense, I think, when you look at the numbers. And sometimes those can be deceiving, too, I guess, when you're just looking at numbers. But I'm surprised they haven't tried to stretch the Canes out a couple times just because of the fact, they've had to have multiple film on Newcastle knowing that they're susceptible to the deep pass. And clearly Chandler Timmons got the big arm to be able to do it.
Sure. They only gained 107 yards in that first half. Like I said, that second quarter was a wasteland for the Golden Rams, and Timmons has 81 of those 107 yards himself.
Right.
But he's only 3 for 6 in that first half for 36 yards, threw a touchdown pass, but also threw that pick with seven rushes for 45 yards in that first half. And then the other guy, Luke Bombalski, 6 rushes for 27 yards. So it's not like they haven't been successful running plays. It's just that like I said, that second quarter they disappeared because of the way the Canes played that quarter, and you had that turnover late in the second quarter.
Braden White, Brian Randolph will go back deep. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if they do it or not, but maybe if they try a little tempo here against the Canes to try to get something going offensively. But give credit to the Newcastle defense, though, here, too, coming up with an interception on the last possession of the first half for the Golden Rams.
They had a stop there. They had a stop on Highlands' first possession where Highlands missed a field goal.
There's that onside kick, and the Golden Rams were waiting for it that time, and I think the ball might have popped loose. It looked like Highlands had that at first, but again, we've seen that at times for the Canes. They'll come out and surprise and go with an onside kick, but it will be Highlands football. And again, we've seen Newcastle try that before this season. One time that I remember specifically where I think that they recovered it before the 10 yards.
Well, that was almost what happened here. It was Burford that got the ball around, the 47 or 48-yard line.
Yeah, they saw that one because they saw that one coming.
Yeah,
and
they
played
were
it well.
aggressive in covering that one.
They're going to go two receivers to each side of the field. Timmons, Canes jump. Marcus Evans here on the near side. So already the Golden Rams have it 1st and 5 from the Newcastle 45-yard line. Chandler Timmons, 6'4", 208 pounds. He's had a big year coming into the ball game tonight, not only throwing but rushing the football. And our first series of the second half, two receivers to each side of the field. Timmons in the shotgun. And he'll look to throw. Pumps, looks, throws here near side. Receiver slips on the cut. White slips on the cut. Pass goes incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
That seemed to be another case where Timmons is not getting his first read. He's having to go to his second and third reads a lot, and that's a credit to that Canes secondary.
So 2nd down and 5, just underway second half. Newcastle with the lead at 18-7. This time, the Rams will line trips to the near side, a receiver to the right. This time of the pistol. A short pass, screen set up to White. He gets hit, breaks one tackle, breaks another, tries to stretch out for the first down, and it looks like he's going to be about a yard short. Needed 5, picked up 4. Hood was there for the Canes.
Actually,
and also Austin Kelly.
It looked like Hood had him stood up at the line of scrimmage. But White was able to spin away and get 4 yards.
3rd down and a yard to go for the Golden Rams for a first down. And they'll send trips this time to the right, receiver to the left. Timmons going to keep himself. And if he got it, he just got it. He needed a yard, and that might be all he got. Yep, right at the 40-yard line, and that will be enough for a Golden Ram first down. Keith Morton in on the stop. So 1st and 10 for Highlands at the 40-yard line. And two receivers to each side of the field. Popolski in the backfield with Timmons. Timmons tries to, with that hard count again, trying to get the Canes to jump. 4 seconds to go on the play clock. They'll get it off in time. Timmons looks, steps up, going to throw deep down the middle, but there's Mike Wells right there to pick it off. An interception at the 15-yard line, and it certainly did look like that Burford was open, and that one, if it's thrown a little deeper, might be a big play for the Golden Rams, but the second interception tonight, and Newcastle will take over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, it was almost like it was a jump ball more than anything for Wells, and he easily brought it down.
So, great field position. Wasted there by Highlands, and Newcastle on the Wells interception will take over 1st and 10 from the 15, their own 15-yard line. As we say quite a bit, next score in this game is going to be enormous. Receivers right and left, slot left, quick count, give to Jefferson. He's out to the 20-yard line. Malik out across the 20 to the 22, maybe the 23-yard line.
Tell you what, I'm willing to give him 8.
And, okay, so we'll say 2nd and 2.
Jefferson part of that rotation with Sibley and Gardner that would spell Hood and Wells, and it's really worked out here the second half of this season. And when you can get production from those guys.
Yep. And I think Wells is going to line up as one of the receivers. 2 backs in the backfield this time with Chris Hood, who will call his own number and get to the 26-yard line, which will be enough for a first down. Needed 2, got 3. So 1st and 10 for Newcastle. Well, they love about a 7-8 minute drive.
You're not
and
kidding.
We've got an injured Kane. And remember, too, that this is happening, and a good job on that offensive line. Antonio Gardner not playing tonight. He is out with an injury.
What'd you say, broken finger from
Yes.
last week?
Marcos Diaz, 6'1", 378-pound freshman, taking his place, and clearly doing a pretty solid job here tonight. But we do have an injured Kane right at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, you really can't say enough about that Canes offensive line, particularly in that first quarter. Springing Hood.
Bryce Wood.
A lot of big plays for the Canes in that first half. What did I say, 5
Yep.
plays of 25-plus yards? Remember last year we were counting all the big plays that the Canes were giving up? And now we've turned the tables?
That's a big drive here for the Canes, especially if they can get a score here. 9:42 to play, running clock.
Really put Highlands on their heels if that happens.
Receivers right and left, Severino in the slot left. This time Hood will go under center, and Chris trips. He trips and falls. I don't know, maybe if he tripped on one of his linemen's foot or so. That back down to the 22-yard line, so he'll lose 4. That looked like it was going to be a pass. So 2nd down and 13 after the loss of 3. Canes this time will go receivers right and left, slot left, so that means Savage is probably in the game at a tight end to the left here. Hood gets the snap, and Jefferson, the ball carrier. Malik across the 25-yard line, out near the 27. Pick up 5. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Canes, and they've been successful on this down, though, all night tonight.
Jefferson, a great job of keeping those legs moving. Making this about as manageable a 3rd down as you can get, but you're right. I mean, they've had a lot of big plays tonight on 3rd and long.
And Wells going to be split wide to the far side of the field, which Chris Hood likes to do sometimes. Just gets that ball and throws it as far as he can on that far sideline. Canes hit a big play earlier on that. Now some pressure on Hood, back at his own 10, throws it away, and it's incomplete and almost picked off here on the near side, but Hood doing a tremendous job. The athletic ability of Chris Hood is the one thing that kept the Canes from losing huge yardage. He was inside his own 10-yard line on that run.
I was going to say, if they catch Hood, Wells is punting from his end zone.
So, Mike Wells looking to turn the tables here once again as he's hit some booming punts this season. We remember that 61-yarder. Was that with Char Valley?
Was that the Char Valley game? May have been. At the same game, he had a 55-yarder?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 seconds ago on the play clock, they get it off. High punt.
Another good one.
And the Rams let it bounce, and then they pick it up at the 30-yard line, and that White going to get tackled right at the 30. The play, you got to field those punts. I mean, that's why you're back there, right?
That's been the secret of Wells' long punts, is that it would get that long Newcastle roll at the end, and that was destined to have a long roll, too, before White picked it up.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pickup. Go up, make the fair catch, and you save yourself about 10 yards or so. So, 1st and 10 for Highlands. Newcastle with a lead at 18-7. We're in the 3rd quarter with 8 minutes to play. Receivers right and left. Man in motion near side. Now White in the backfield. And Timmons looks. They're going to set up a screen over the middle. It's caught 35 and across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Bobalski?
I think that was Signorella.
Okay, Signorella. Across the 35 rather, to the 36-yard line. So pickup of 7, second down and 3. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Timmons now looks to the sideline for the play. Bobalski, the lone setback on a second down and 7, and he'll get the football. First down, 40, out near the 44-yard line. That was Morton in on the tackle for the Red Hurricane. Keith Morton, first down Highlands at their own 44-yard line. Looks like they're trying to pick up the tempo just a hair here. Timmons now has been intercepted twice on the night, 2 receivers to each side of the field. And again, with that hard count, Canes don't jump. Timmons looks to the sideline. First down and 10 from his own 44, gets the ball. Looks here near side, got to loft it, and that's caught. Flag is down at the 30-yard line. Andre Jackson in on the tackle, but he thinks that maybe the call's on White.
Yeah, a little bit of push-off.
We'll see.
A little push-off there. Although it looked like he was falling down.
Now they're huddling up to see the call. This would be a first down at 10 after the pass play, pass interference against Newcastle. So it'll be first and 10 for the Golden Rams from the 30-yard line of Newcastle. 18-7 the score, just under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter, so still plenty of time here. But again, it does look like the Rams have picked it up a bit, Rob.
26 yards on that completion.
Trips to the far side, a receiver here to the left, ball near hash. And Timmons going to keep himself. 25, he's to the 20, stiff arms to the 15, spins to the 10, maybe to the 11-yard line it looks like now. So it'll be first down and goal to go there. Bryce Wood in on the stop for the Canes. It's going to be first down and 10, I do believe, not goal to go, as they'll mark him close to the 11. With 6:24 to play here in the third quarter, the Rams on the move. Kind of similar to their first series of the night. So, trying to cut this to a 18-13 game if they're able to score. Trips to the far side. Signorella here to the left. Bobalski in the backfield with Timmons, ball near hash. And direct snap to Bobalski, and he's going to get decked for a 2-yard loss as the Canes all over that play, and Keith Morton in on the tackle for a 2-yard loss, second and 12. This is almost the position they were in, Rob, on that first one where they set up that little bubble screen where they scored the touchdown on.
I remember.
See if we don't see the sophomore Braden White once again on this play. And he'll line up as one of the receivers, one of 3 to the far side of the field. Ball right in the middle of the field right now. Timmons looks, and there's that little flip pass to White. He gets inside the 10-yard line. Flag is down at the 10. See if this is some kind of illegal block on the Golden Rams. Well, this would be a costly penalty. Now the Rams are signaling it's against the Canes. Well, illegal block against the Golden Rams, so this is going to take it back 10 yards from the 10-yard line. That is a huge penalty.
So that's going to bring up, what, a second and 19?
Yeah. Yep, back to the 21. Almost 20. I got to get to what, probably about the 2 it looks like for a first down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 19, you're right. 2 receivers each side of the field. That's a big penalty there by the Golden Rams. 5 minutes to play, third quarter. They have it on the Newcastle 21-yard line. Timmons steps back, throws, far sideline, incomplete. And now to bring up third down. And you would think there's got to be 2 down territory. Timmons just upset it himself right now.
Well, he underthrew it, and White kind of made him know that.
Well, he's really upset coming here to the near side.
Yeah.
Talking with Coach Girardi. And there's only 20 seconds to go on the play clock. So 3rd down and 19 to go. The ball at the 21. 10 seconds to go on the play clock, and the Rams come out of the huddle.
They're going to get this off.
With 5 seconds. Trips near side, receiver to the right, 2 seconds. 1 second. They do just get it off. Timmons is pressured. He's going to roll near side. Throws on the run in the end zone. Got a man out there. It's a touchdown. Touchdown, Golden Rams. Burford on the touchdown reception from Chandler Timmons. And just like that, it's an 18-13 ball game. 4:45 to play. It looks like with Timmons going back on the field that the Golden Rams are going to go for 2 here. So they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Timmons directing traffic here. 4 seconds to go on the play clock. He gets the snap. He looks, fires in the end zone, incomplete. He had a receiver out there but couldn't hold on to it. It goes incomplete, and the Canes will hold on to a 5-point lead. 2-point conversion, no good. The score, Newcastle 18, Highlands 13. News Radio 1200 WKSD.
Washington Center Physical Therapy has been helping residents of the Newcastle area since 1987. They are the official physical therapy center for Newcastle Athletics and specializes in orthopedic problems, especially the knee and shoulder. When your doctor orders physical therapy, by law, you have a choice of where to go. Choose Washington Center Physical Therapy for your best outcome. Visit them on the web, WashingtonCentrEPT.com. Washington Center Physical Therapy in downtown Newcastle, a proud sponsor of high school sports.
Newcastle High School football, sponsored in part by Washington Center Physical Therapy. News Radio 1200, WKSD Newcastle.
Huh. Getting closer.
Yeah. Playoff football, Kenny. 7 plays, 71 yards for the Golden Rams and 3:16. A 3rd and 19, too. So giving Newcastle what they have been getting all night.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've heard that tonight, haven't we?
You know, Chandler Timmons finding Drake Burford from 19 yards out. The conversion fails. Canes with a 5-point lead, 18-13. 4:45 to go, 3rd quarter.
Well, we said the next score in this game would be huge, and the Golden Rams now right back in it. I don't understand the 2, though, they're right there. If you kick it, it's 18-14. I don't know. Expecting a field goal, maybe to tie. I don't know.
Trying to make that margin 4. If you're thinking ahead, I don't know.
Yeah. Good high kick this time. This is going to be fielded on the run and fumbled by Gardner. He picks it up at the 15. And he's down short of the 20-yard line, back to the 19-yard line. Almost disaster. Kayvon Gardner bobbled it, picked it up, brought it back out to the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Canes. From there, 18-13, as Highlands has just scored to cut into the Red Hurricane lead.
Gardner was just trying to make a play there, trying to catch that on the run and get some extra yardage, but instead the Canes will start at their own 19-yard line.
Four minutes, 40 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Canes line up this time with 2 receivers to each side of the field. Chris Hood with the snap, going to call his own number. 20, 25, Hood, 30, 1st down across the 30 to the 31-yard line, maybe the 32, when all's said and done. 13-yard pickup for Chris Hood on 1st down. Actually, now let's see, where is the official mark going to be? Going to be the 31. So that's what, 12?
12 yards on that carry. 118 now on the night for Hood, and I would not be surprised if we start seeing a steady dose of 4 and 3. Here is the 3rd quarter is coming to a close.
2 receivers, each side of the field once again. On a 1st down at 10. Chris Hood, quick pass, far side. This goes nowhere. In fact, maybe loses a yard. To Wells.
Yeah, they're going to mark that back at the 30.
Brian Randolph in on the tackle for the Golden Rams. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. It's just the kind of a feeling that you have here watching this, that they are having an enormous problem tackling Chris Hood. And that we don't see a steady diet of number 4. Trips near side, a receiver to the left, and Hood will keep it. Hood, 35, Hood, 36-yard line. So he'll get 6 of that back and bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Newcastle.
And once again, credit that offensive line. I mean, they've been giving him hole after hole after hole to punch through.
Canes go quick here. Hood will keep himself. Chris, 40, 1st down. Across the 40 to the 43-yard line. I'm telling you, it's just, he gets 4 or 5 yards of crack.
Or 7.
Yeah. So another Red Hurricane 1st down out to the 43-yard line. Coming up on 3 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Newcastle 18, Highlands 13. Coming in from the sideline, that was Nick Torsello. Canes break the huddle. We'll see trips to the far side. Austin Kelly here to the right on a 1st down and 10. Snap, Hood keeps. Chris, 45, 50. There he goes, 40, 30, 20. Foot race, and Hood's going to win it again. Touchdown, Red Hurricane and Chris Hood. Once again, another touchdown run by Hood. This one of 57 yards, and the Canes extend the lead to 24-13.
Well, I'd say that's a pretty good play to run. Just saying.
I was waiting for that analysis all night long.
Yeah, really, right? 14 for 188, I have Chris Hood now. Now we can say tonight he's getting close to becoming a 1,000-yard player.
Yes, he is. And Al Porce on the point after to try to make it 25-13. Good snap. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Canes up now 25-13. And Chris Hood is having a night to remember. His 2nd big touchdown run of the night, 61 and 57 yards for Chris Hood here this evening. So the Canes answer that Golden Rams touchdown, and how enormous that was. As now, when you look at the clock, Rob, and you like to talk about this quite a bit, 2:29 to go, possessions are going to be few now.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very valuable as we turn the page into the 4th quarter. And just what we had suspected, steady dose of Chris Hood on that 5-play drive.
They can't bring the big guy down. They can't. I mean, they're really having a hard time.
He ran it 4 times on that 5-play drive, and that other play was that 1-yard loss on the completion to Wells on the screen.
You know, Chris is 5'11". Well, it says 5'11", 212. I think that might be generous on the scale. But I think he surprises you at field level of 1, how big he is, and 2, how quick he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
he gets any doubt about that.
It was a foot race from the 40, and Rob, nobody closed on him.
No, he pulled away. He pulled away from about the 25 on.
Kick to the far side, fielded at the 25. Golden Ram player slips, and that's where they'll mark him down. So that was Signorella. Now, for Highlands now, this becomes an enormous series.
Oh, my.
Because if you're not able to get anything here, you're going to go in the 4th quarter down by 12. So let's see what Chandler Timmons can dial up for his team here. Just threw a 19-yard touchdown pass on the, 21-yard pass on the previous series. It was 3rd and 19. That's what I was thinking of. Trips here near side. This is an empty set this time. So 5 receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left for quarterback Timmons. See if he doesn't keep this himself, and he will. Fakes the pass. And he'll run it to the 30, to the 35-yard line. Looks to be a 1st down. Out to the 36. So that'll be a 1st down for Chandler Timmons. Now we'll mark him back to the 35-yard line.
Get the feeling we're about to see the duel of the mobile quarterbacks.
A little bit of talking back and forth between the Canes and the Rams there on that play.
But fortunately for the Canes, they have the 12-point advantage.
Yes.
Third quarter runs down.
2 receivers each side of the field. Ball far hash. Timmons looks at the sideline now with 4 to play. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. And he looks to throw. Looks, fires over the middle, and that pass is caught. Nice play out to the 48-yard line. Boy, that was a neat grab.
Sure was.
For the Golden Rams by Jordan Tavares, just a sophomore. And that's a first down to the 48-yard line of Highlands. Quickly, they're getting in the line of scrimmage. 1:45 to play on a running clock. Ball right in the middle of the field now with 2 receivers to each side. Timmons now again with
trying with that hard
count.
count. Boy,
trying with that hard count.
They've seen some tape, haven't they?
Trying to draw the Canes offside. 5 to go on the play clock. Timmons looking near side. Pass bobbled and caught by White. He gets to the 50, and inside the 50, clock will continue to roll out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Newcastle. That'll be a pickup at nearly 5, 2nd and 5. Coming up on a minute to go, third quarter. Canes answer the Golden Rams touchdown to keep the lead at 12. Just have a feeling of a play action and a deep pass here coming soon. 2 receivers each side. Timmons going to call his own number. Going to keep it, and he runs in to a wall of White at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss, and guess who it was? Who else but Chris Hood here this evening, along with Keith Morton. 30 seconds to play, third quarter. So the Canes are going to head into the fourth quarter of this first-round playoff game with the lead. 20 seconds to go on the play clock, 21 on the game clock, so they do have to run a play. Burford wide. They're going to send 2 receivers again to each side of the field on a 3rd down and 5 here. So the Rams looking to pick up the first down. Little short pass. Signorella breaks a tackle and he fumbled the football, and it's loose. Still loose. Newcastle's got it. The Canes have recovered the fumble, and they've got the football. And that was Andre Jackson in on the recovery for the Canes at the 35-yard line. And a huge turnover there on the final play of the third quarter. We head to the fourth. Newcastle with the football, 1st and 10 from their own 35. It's the Canes 25, the Golden Rams 13. You're listening to Newcastle High School football at News Radio 1200 WKSD.
Gas continues to rise, so why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Take the bus to work, school, doctor's appointments, or shopping, with stops throughout Lawrence County and weekday service to Pittsburgh. Perfect for those of you who drive it every day, saving yourself gas money and wear and tear on your vehicle. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or route schedules, log on to NewcastleTransAuthority.org and the Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
GNC Community Federal Credit Union.
How is your bank treating you? Do you feel like just another person in a really large crowd? Well, maybe it's time to look for an alternative financial institution like GNC Community Federal Credit Union. GNC is a safe, consumer-friendly financial service provider that offers consumers with alternatives. Visit GNCFCU.com or stop by one of the 2 locations on South Jefferson Street or 2907 Wilmington Road, Newcastle. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tune in to the Kevin Stefanski Show, Thursday nights at 9, News Radio 1200 WKST.
Welcome back. Golden Rams Stadium, and Newcastle heads to the fourth quarter with a 12-point lead and the football following the turnover. Chris Hood going to hand it off. Not much this time, couple of yards on the play.
I think actually that was Wells.
Yeah, you're right. Mike Wells
handed it off to Hood.
And yeah.
How about that?
Handed it off to Chris. Well, we saw this in the Beaver game, right? When you turn the ball over 3 times, it's difficult to win. The Canes that game turned it over 5 times and lost a tight one.
And still only lost by 6. That's right.
2nd down and 12 to go. I'm sorry, 2nd down and 8, I should say. Just underway, final quarter here from Highlands. Receivers right and left, slot left. Wells will hand it off to Chris. He's to the 40. First down, 45, down the far sideline and out of bounds. It's the only bad thing he's done tonight was go out of bounds there. Stay in bounds, go down, right?
That's
Keep the
right.
clock
Keep
running.
that clock going.
But I guess you can't say much when he picks up another big gainer inside Ram territory down to the 49-yard line.
That's another 14 yards.
I mean, this is a memory night for Chris Hood, isn't it?
Well, I have him over 200 now. I have him at 204.
And they're going to continue with that.
Why not? Right?
Well, yeah, they can't stop 4 right now. Man in motion near side. And it's going to be a pitch here to the near side to Tyler Leakins, and he's going to lose 6 yards. Randolph in on the tackle. You know, you hate the nitpick question sometime, but
well,
I mean, there's no need for that when they can't stop Chris Hood. And now it's going to be second down at 16, which, mind you, it hasn't been a problem.
Well, that's
tonight,
true.
But still,
that's true. And as much as you want to matriculate, as it were, you're still running valuable time off that clock. So that's something. But 2-yard gains are much better than -6 if you want your Captain Obvious moment of the night.
Trips to the far side, a receiver here to the left. Wells going to throw, does to Severino, and Owen will get a couple. That's it. That was a great play there. That's by Chandler Timmons. That's a great open field tackle on Severino by Timmons, and a short pickup. It'll bring up third down and 14 to go. And I just don't like that first down play. You had Chris had just come off a 14-yard gain, and it hasn't been that the Rams have been tackling number 4 behind the line of scrimmage at all. Trips to the far side. Austin Kelly here to the left. Newcastle leading at 25-13. Highlands coming with a blitz. Wells being pressured, throws it up for grabs and incomplete. It was intended for, there's a flag out there, but Chris Hood was, well, we're going to get an illegal man downfield. That's what the penalty is.
That's probably what it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's, and you can't miss him. You know, you can't miss Marcos Diaz. Marcos was downfield, and they're going to notice you.
Yeah.
Huh? When he's right next to Chris Hood.
That's probably the best way to put it.
You're going to get noticed.
Yeah.
Illegal downfield against the Canes. That penalty will be declined. It'll bring up fourth down. 9:30 to play, and this now becomes a must opportunity for Highlands. So they survived the fumble recovery. Now Mike Wells will look to pin the Golden Rams back deep. And somebody for Highlands needs to field a punt here. And let's see, though, if they don't try to come after Wells. We're going to see 9 up on the line of scrimmage, Rob. Actually 8.
Boy, this snap's got to be good, too.
Yep. 12-point Newcastle lead. 4 to go on the play clock. Snap gets back to Wells. Punt is away, no problem. Fair catch called for by Highlands and made by White. So we'll keep it right here with 9:23 to play.
Talk about switching the field again.
Highlands will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Chandler Timmons with a couple of interceptions this evening, also threw a touchdown, 2 touchdown passes. So he's got 2 of each.
Highlands had 2 turnovers in that third quarter.
Yep.
Had the turnover with, 3.5 left in the first half?
Yep.
When they knew that they would be getting the ball back to start the second half?
Trips far side, a receiver here to the right. 9:23 to play in regulation. Newcastle with a 12-point lead. 8 seconds to play on the play clock. Timmons gets the snap. We'll hand it on. Kowalski, short game. Canes will take that all night long now.
Absolutely.
Up by 12. Alex Fox comes up there and makes the tackle. Great play by Fox. reading that play early, not letting Bobalski get loose. Gain of 2, that's it. Second down and 8 to go. Well, you got to think that they've got to score a touchdown on this drive.
Well, I mean, it's a 2-score game.
Yeah.
And you would think that they maybe pick up the pace a little bit, too.
Trips to the left, receiver to the right. Timmons, pass is knocked down and incomplete. That was going to be intended here on the near sideline, rather at about the 30-yard line. Jackson was in on coverage on that if it does get through. Tavares was the intended receiver, so now 3rd down and 8 for Highlands. 25-13 Newcastle. A big night for senior quarterback Chris Hood. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball near hash. Timmons with Bobalski in motion will throw it to him out of the backfield. Got some blockers. He's going to pick up a first down across the 30-yard line. No flags after the 32. So 1st and 10 for Highlands. Good-looking play. Bobalski goes in motion, and Timmons just flips it to him in the backfield. And one of the receivers on that far side, it might have been Burford, who had a great block to spring him free. So 1st and 10, ball far hash. Quickly, Timmons throws far sideline, back shoulder pass. That's caught. First down inside Newcastle territory to the 49-48 yard line. Signorella in on the reception for Highlands. And again, they're showing some hurry up here, Rob.
Here's the tempo.
Yep. 2 receivers each side of the field. 1st and 10 for Highlands. They have it at Newcastle territory. Still plenty of time. 8:13 to play in regulation. Timmons pumps, will roll here near side. Going to throw deep. Coverage out there, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Wilkins. Burford went up as well, but good coverage there by the Canes. If Timmons is able to get a little more under that.
And sees him a little earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a big play.
Because he had 3 steps on the defender. A perfect pass there is 6.
He pumped to the far side. Nothing was there. He came back here to the right. So 1st down and 10. I'm sorry, 2nd down and 10 for Highlands from the Cane 48. 2 receivers each side of the field. 8 minutes to play regulation. Canes by 12. Timmons in trouble, going to throw it here to the near side, up for grabs, and that's incomplete and almost intercepted. That was a dangerous pass, and almost INT number 3 for Chris Hood picking that one off.
Yeah, Chris was tracking it the whole way.
Well, that was really dangerous.
The confluence of 2 players on the ball at the same time.
Someone had pressure, made the hit. It might have been Wood, and as he was throwing, Timmons gets hit, and that ball was up there for a long time. Trips near side, 3rd down 10. Receiver to the left. 4th quarter action. 1st round playoff, Canes by a dozen. Timmons looks to throw, has time, over the middle. Caught at the 40. That'll be shy of a first down. Mike Wells went for the pick, but that's shy by about a yard and a half of a first down for the Golden Rams. So 4th down, see if the Canes defense can hold here. 4th and short.
That was what, Signorella again on the reception?
Yep. Canes got to be careful here, of course. Timmons is going to go with that hard count, you would think.
Oh, yeah.
To try to draw the Canes offside.
Hasn't worked yet tonight.
Trips to the near side, a receiver to the left. 4th and short, 4th at about 2 yards to go. Timmons is in trouble, throws, incomplete, and the Canes hold on downs. It'll be Newcastle football with 7 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the ball game. And they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 40. We'll be back. News Radio 1200 WKSD.
It's said that defense is the key to a championship team. This football season, when it comes to personal injury, you want the winning team of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George. They are your personal injury law firm. Football fans know the best defense is a good offense. When you're injured, let LGKG defend your rights by going after the injury compensation you deserve. Call Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George for a free consultation today, 724-658-8535, or go to LGKG.com. Good luck to all the teams this football season from Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George.
You're listening to Newcastle High School Football on News Radio 1200 WKST Newcastle.
1st and 10 for the Canes. And I think the Canes are going to take a timeout here, and they will with 7:08 to play. Great pressure, Marcus Evans, Rob
I was
Gregory.
going to say, that gives us a chance to praise Marcus Evans on that last play. Timmons did not want to get rid of that football. And really, he put it in a very dangerous place. I mean, it's one of those plays where even if the Canes have a shot at it, you just knock it down.
Right.
So as it is, the Canes lead 25-13 with 7:08 to go. They've got the ball in their own 40. And once again, you look at this drive sheet of mine, and you don't see many drives by either team. It's maybe a game now at this point that we see just one more possession from each team, depending on what Newcastle can do here. If they can run 3 or 4 minutes off this clock,
right,
it's going to make it really, really tough on the Rams.
Yeah, and I think the Canes right now, there's the number one priority, hold on to the ball. You know, don't turn it over here because they're in control up by 12.
Wells is out wide. I'm thinking Wells was quarterback that last series because Hood was gassed.
Yeah, but he ran the ball, though,
Yeah,
too.
but he didn't have to touch it every play.
Yeah.
You know?
There he goes again across the 40, gets out maybe to the 43-yard line.
That's a pretty big responsibility when you've got to touch it every play.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Canes. They just used their first time out, but now, of course, a couple of first downs, and this one really is over.
Yeah.
When you start to look at it, I mean, realistically, the Canes are going to let that go down under probably 5 seconds every play here. Highlands with 3 timeouts left, but they really needed something there. Wells into the game. Mike's wide to the far side. 2 receivers to each side, slot to the right. And Chris Hood on a 2nd down and 7. He's going to look to throw, and he does, and it's caught, and it's a first down. Mateo Savage inside Ram territory to the 49-yard line. So that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Canes. And they've come here after getting thoroughly bashed last week, and they've played a heck of a football game.
Yeah, they sure have.
They really have.
Yeah, they have.
Haven't turned the ball over. Very few penalties in this game. Great job done by this crew where they've really, for the most part, I mean, they've called the obvious. But otherwise, it has been a game that has moved along, too. Receivers right and left, slot left. That's Severino in a slot to the left there. Malik Jefferson will get the football, and he will get hit behind the line of scrimmage and still pick up 4 yards. Great job by number 23.
Wow, what a great run that was. Once again, keeping those legs moving. Looks like what? They'll spot the 46.
Yep.
So that's 3 tough yards, but not just 3 yards. That's another, what, 40 seconds off the clock.
Absolutely. 2nd down 7. Time in the season starting to wind down on the Golden Rams. Thanks to Coach Girardi helping us out with the broadcast, getting us the information, his interview, the athletic department here at Highlands. Receivers right and left, slot left. And to give to Jefferson. And Malik spins 45 down to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up nearly 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down and short. 3rd down and a couple for Newcastle. Under 5 minutes to play in this first-round playoff game. The Golden Rams have got to be thinking that they need to cause a turnover here.
How about Malik Jefferson, too? All those carries earlier in the year for just the small yardage, but the trust that they have in him right now on this drive.
Receivers right and left, slot right. Chris Hood, call his own number. And puts his head down, and he'll pick up the first down to the 38-yard line. And again, that'll be another 3 downs for the Canes. Whistle and official timeout because there's an injured Cane.
If it's on the offensive line, they cannot afford that.
Nope. And we'll take a timeout while they attend to the injured Cane. We have 4 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in this first-round playoff game. The score, Newcastle 25, Highlands 13. News Radio 1200 WKST.
Washington Center Physical Therapy has been helping residents of the Newcastle area since 1987. They are the official physical therapy center for Newcastle Athletics and specializes in orthopedic problems, especially the knee and shoulder. When your doctor orders physical therapy by law, you have a choice of where to go. Choose Washington Center Physical Therapy for your best outcome. Visit them on the web, WashingtonCentrEPT.com. Washington Center Physical Therapy in downtown Newcastle, a proud sponsor of high school sports.
The Canes, sponsored in part by the GNC Community Federal Credit Union.
That's Diaz, isn't it? I think that is Marcos Diaz, who was replacing Antonio Gardner in this game, Rob. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Diaz is still out there.
Shenango's still up 24-7 after 3 at Carmichael's.
How about Montour?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can find him here.
First down at 10. Hood dropped the snap and looking. He's going to try to throw the ball. He is going to throw the ball. And that is caught for a touchdown. A 41-yard touchdown pass. Chris Hood. And he just put it up for grabs. That's got to be Mike Wells, right?
Chances are, if it's the tallest guy, it's Mike Wells.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that looks like Wells.
It was Mike Wells with the touchdown reception of 41 yards, and that puts this one out of reach at 31-13. What a night for Chris Hood. I think he might be the player of the game.
That's a reasonable expectation.
Porras for the point after. Maybe some movement up front by the Canes. Porras just did a Charlie Brown. He faked the kick and he slipped. So they'll take it back 5 yards. And the faithful, I understand, because it's doggone cold. Going to start to head for the exits. But what a win here tonight for Newcastle after getting beat up the way they did a week ago against Aliquippa. You saw it, from the first play of the game on, it was just a nightmare. I mean, they had 42 points with still 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah.
So the point after will not take place from the 15-yard line. And line drive, it doesn't make it there. So the Canes are going to have to gas up the buses because that's a haul to Bell Vernon. That is a haul to Bell Vernon.
Yeah, but you know what? You ask any of them. No place they would rather be next week.
And again, as we see some of the scores tonight, Rob Gregory, it's why they play the games, right?
That's right. You were wondering about Montour, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Let's see if I can effort that for you.
So Newcastle comes here, posts 31 so far in the game.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Montour down 20-16 in the third quarter.
So that's a back and forth one.
Sure is. Montour, of course, with that exciting win last week against Char Valley, actually their first playoff game of the season.
All right.
Got Chris Hood for 149 passing yards. That puts him over 1,000 for the year. 210 on the ground, which puts him around 40 short of 1,000 for the year. Ish.
761 coming in. Kick here to the near side. And that is fielded right on the line.
I was going to say, he stepped out of bounds.
Yep, that is fielded right on the line by Randolph. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. And now it's just a matter of time with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left.
18 for 210 for Chris Hood. That helps his average, too, in case you're wondering.
I was, actually.
You patronize me, don't you?
Yes, I do. All right. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, so 5 empty set for Timmons. Going to throw it short, pass caught, out of bounds. That'll be across the 25 to the 26-yard line, short gain. Brock White catching the football. He's the injured running back that just came back for Highlands.
Yeah,
Jackson in on the coverage here.
Their leading rusher last year and got hurt in 7-on-7s, I guess, during the offseason.
Heard Hampton leading Plum 14-13, Rob.
Wow.
Pass, short, incomplete. So that'll bring up 3rd down now and 6.
You know, Plum's had an interesting season, too, having to forfeit 2 games, although I don't think it hurt them in the conference standings. I think one of those games was a loss anyway. But once again, it leads credence to, you know, where Hampton was seated in the bracket, you know, making an undefeated conference champion playing the first round.
Playing the first round, right, not get that bye.
Yeah.
3rd down and 6. 3:27 to play in the ball game. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ballski in the backfield with Timmons. And he looks, wants to throw, wanted to set that screen up, but nothing was there. He'll throw it deep down the field here, and that one is caught to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. That's White. White still on his feet, Now, finally down. At the 17-yard line, now some stuff a little back and forth here. Canes don't need to get anybody ejected right now because they're going to play next week.
Absolutely not. No extracurricular activity. Now let's see. Where did they?
I didn't see any flags.
End up marking. Yeah, I didn't see anything either.
But they're talking things over here.
Looks like they're going to mark it around the 12, at least right now. That would make it a 62-yard play.
Still nothing. We're waiting, along with you. Dead ball. Personal foul against Newcastle. Again, you don't need to be doing this right now. Be first down and goal to go for the Rams at the 6-yard line.
All right, so it was down to the 12 then.
Right. And, yep, Canes are going to call timeout. I think Coach Coward wants to have a little heart-to-heart here with 3:27 to play in the game. No need for anything after the play right now. And get yourself ejected here in next week as well. And I would think that's what he is reiterating to his team. And he's talking to his squad. And I would think making sure that that's a topic of discussion in there with a 31-13 lead with 3:27 to play.
I would think pretty much exactly what you just said. Let's see if I can get to my list here. Let me figure out how to work my. Oh, there it was. Canavan's up 49-6. Laurel a winner tonight, 41-2. Farrell, the #1 team in the state in AA, big winner tonight.
Timmons throws end zone, and that's going to be caught, but out of the end zone, I do believe, by White, so incomplete. Bring up 2nd down and goal from the 6. So some close ones. You got Plum Hampton tight, Montour tight. Some good first-round games. So second down and goal for the Golden Rams from the 6, with Newcastle leading 31-13. Receivers right and left. Check that, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And Timmons looks to throw, does, out of the backfield. That was well covered to Babalski, incomplete, third down and goal from the 6.
Hampton edges Plum tonight, 14-13.
That's a final.
That is a final.
So they move on in 4A play. So they'll have who next week? McKeesport? No.
Well, they were what? The 4-13, so they get the 3. No.
Third down goal from the 6, and Highlands is going to call a timeout. Well, as soon as I said we were moving along at a pretty good pace.
They get the 5.
It is now gone to a
Snail's
stall. Yeah,
Snail's
they'll play
pace.
the winner of the Indiana Thomas Jefferson game.
And we knew who that was going to be. So
Yeah, but do we know that?
So how,
the way the night's going.
well, it was 35-0.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a great point.
So how about that quarterfinal? Hampton Thomas Jefferson.
Newcastle, 3 minutes and 18 seconds away from heading to Bell Vernon to take on the top seed of Class A play, 4A play rather. And a well-deserved seed, to say the least. They beat everybody. So third down and goal from the 6 when play resumes. Newcastle 31, Highlands 13. Big offensive night for Chris Wood here this evening.
18 carries for 210. He's also thrown for 149.
All right, third down goal. Timmons. This is going to be a direct snap to Babalski. There it is, and he's going to pitch it. Now they're going to throw it in the end zone, and there's going to be a flag down, interference. Pass was intended for Timmons, and that's going to be interference on the Canes in the end zone as Burford was throwing the pass on the reverse.
Is that going to be on Hood? I think Hood ended up with the football. He just kind of turned around and it was there, but I think that was after the contact with Timmons.
That's exactly what happened. Okay, of course, in high school, that's not an automatic first down.
No.
So it'll be third and goal from the 3.
Cut it in half.
Three receivers left, 2 to the right, empty set. See if Timmons calls his own number here on a third down and goal from the 3. He's going to try to. Now he wants to throw it, and it's caught on the back of the end zone for a Golden Ram touchdown.
Is that Brock White?
Yes, it was. So, cuts it to 31-19 with 3:08 to play. That's back to a 12-point Newcastle lead with 3:08 to go. Three receivers left, 2 to the right on the 2-point conversion. Timmons going to keep himself, and he is going to get stopped short on the 2-point conversion. So, onside kick coming with 3:08 to play here in the ball game. Newcastle holding on to a 31-19 lead here this evening.
Devin Palmer on the penetration there to stop that conversion.
By the way, you can click onto the TribLive High School Sports Network for the scoreboard show on your mobile device.
6 plays, 78 yards
As
for the Golden Rams.
you're going to get a bunch of scores coming in like right now because everything kicked off at 7 o'clock
That's
tonight.
right. Yep.
Even Beaver. Speaking of the Bobcats, by the way, they were in a tight one, of course. What, tied at halftime, right? 14-14?
I think that's right. They had what, Laurel Highlands, right?
Yes, they did. All right.
Beaver up 27-21 with 2:06 to go.
Wouldn't be anything else. A 6-point game with the Bobcats, right? All right, let's see. Chris Hood. Who else is there? Mike Wells.
I would say this is the hands team of
Yes.
hands teams.
Tyler Leakins is up front. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Yeah.
It is definitely hands team. There it is, and it's right to
Wow.
Who else?
Yeah.
Who else would get it but Chris Hood? Right to Chris Hood. He fields it, falls on it at the 50-yard line.
No, it pretty much launched perfectly into his breadbasket, too.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for Newcastle, right at midfield with 3:07 to play. 31-19, they lead it. Highlands with 2 timeouts left. Expect them to take those right away. Canes just looking to run out this final 3:07. Take the long bus ride back to Newcastle and get ready for another long bus
I
ride.
was going to say, it's not quite as long, though.
No.
When you win.
Oh, yes. It'll be a good one compared to last week, right?
It's got to be.
Hood, direct snap. Chris, 45, 44-yard line. Tell you what, there's got to be some sore Golden Rams trying to tackle him tonight. Daniel Timmons in on the tackle. And that'll be a gain of, 6? 2nd down and 4. As Hood continues to rack it up this evening. Again, 761 yards coming into the game. And if he were to bust this one.
What'd you say, 761?
761.
977.
All right.
Then, unofficially. Of course, already passed the 1,000-yard mark passing.
Hood gets tripped up shy of the 40-yard line of the 41, so he'll be a yard short of a first down. 3rd down and a yard to go. Tom Girardi not calling timeout yet because on a 3rd and 1, they want to try to stop the Canes on this one and maybe take one, but 2:05 to go. 20 seconds to go on the play clock, so around 1:40 when this ball is snapped. Wells gets the play. I wonder if it'll be Chris Hood carrying the football.
Thomas Jefferson 41, Indiana 0 final.
Canes are going to have to call a timeout because the play clock was going to run out on them. So they use their 2nd timeout of the night. 1 minute 38 seconds to play in the game. On a 3rd down and a yard to go. And a first down here will put her out of reach for sure. If there was any question, it shall be answered. So,
looking for my handy dandy bracket here, so I can
week Friday night.
Start filling it in.
Again, airtime at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. Newcastle, Bell Vernon.
Thomas Jefferson moves to 7-2.
Third down, yard to go.
Hampton 11-0 by the skin of their teeth.
Yes, and got TJ. And the Rams
Wow.
jump. Yep, it's offside against Highlands. Now the Canes just need to kneel down. That's it.
Yep.
That's all they have to do now. Go victory formation. I mean, Highlands does have a couple of timeouts, but they really needed to hold the Canes there, cause a turnover or something.
Yeah, needed to stop there.
High snap. Chris Hood brings it down, and he gets decked to the backfield for about a 3-yard loss. Well, the Rams are going to use one of those timeouts. But realistically now with a $1:29, unless the Canes turn it over and it's a pickup for a touchdown, looks a little dim for the Golden Rams right now.
I almost wonder if you necessarily have Hood running the ball right now.
Yeah, I just think you let him take the timeout, but go knee. So, 2nd down and 11 when we resume here, as Highlands with 1 timeout left. So, no turnovers tonight by the Canes, Rob Gregory.
I mean, that's been the theme this year. The Canes are, and this is duh. I get that. But given what we've seen with the Canes in the last 3 or 4 years, they've played these stretches where they had no turnovers, no penalties, and they are always successful.
Hood going to throw a pass. Wells catches it.
Well, all right.
Inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. But Mike gets out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Actually, it'd be inside the 5, down to the 4.
Guess they're going to make me keep doing stats.
They're going to go, I think Hood's going under center this time. And I think we're going to see the knee. First down goal for the Canes. Ball at the 4-yard line with 1:21 to play, and there's the knee. No timeouts for the Golden Rams. They do have 1 left. So, play clock down to 18 seconds, game clock at 54. So this is the last time they'll have to do this. Can let it go down to, what, about 2 seconds. There it is. You're under 40 right now, and that'll wrap it up. So Newcastle will capture the playoff victory here tonight. The final score from Golden Ram Stadium, Newcastle 31, Highlands 19. Back with the postgame. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. Play them all, Marine. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. Be back and wrap things up with the postgame show coming up next here on News Radio 1200 WKST.
Gas continue.
Yep, take them all.
All right. Authority take you where you want to go. Take the bus to work, school, doctor's appointments, or shopping. With stops throughout Lawrence County and weekday service to Pittsburgh. Perfect for those of you who drive it every day. Saving yourself gas money and wear and tear on your vehicle. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information...
Kenny, you want me to take the last barter or save that till after?
No, just take all of ours, that's all. Don't even worry about the barter.
Okay, cool.
GNC.
How is your bank treating you? Do you feel like just another person in a really large crowd? Well, maybe it's time to look for an alternative financial institution like GNC Community Federal Credit Union. GNC is a safe, consumer-friendly financial service provider that offers consumers with alternatives. Visit GNCFCU.com or stop by one of their 2 locations on South Jefferson Street or 2907 Wilmington Road, Newcastle. Federally insured by NCUA. It's said that defense is the key to a championship team. This football season, when it comes to personal injury, you want the winning team of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George. They are your personal injury law firm. Football fans know the best defense is a good offense. When you're injured, let LGKG defend your rights by going after the injury compensation you deserve. Call Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George for a free consultation today, 724-658-8535, or go to LGKG.com. Good luck to all the teams this football season from Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George.
Washington Center Physical Therapy has been helping residents of the Newcastle area since 1987. They are the official physical therapy center for Newcastle Athletics and specializes in orthopedic problems, especially the knee and shoulder. When your doctor orders physical therapy by law, you have a choice of where to go. Choose Washington Center Physical Therapy for your best outcome. Visit them on the web, WashingtonCentrEPT.com. Washington Center Physical Therapy in downtown Newcastle, a proud sponsor of high school sports.
Welcome back, Golden Rams Stadium. Final score, Newcastle 31 and Highlands 19. Rob, the Canes started from the first series, really, and played an outstanding football game here tonight, and we'll move on to the next round and take on, it's going to be a tall task, but take on the top seed in Bell Vernon. Tall task and a long ride.
A long ride for you guys. Maybe not so much
Well,
for me.
that's true.
But
I understand.
But, like I said, if there's any bus ride to take next week, it's going to be the one to Bell Vernon because that was the only one offered to them.
That's true.
And, you know, and you said it several times in that second half. What a way to respond after just being absolutely drilled at Aliquippa last week. And respond they did, and they responded in game, too.
Every time.
With big plays. They didn't break on defense. You know, that first Highlands drive where they moved the ball at will, yet stopped them for a missed field goal, and that kind of set the tone a little bit for the game and how it was going to go. And you look at it, and you think Newcastle, they won the big play battle, and because of that, they won tonight's game.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, maybe on a more basis, just because of looking at the numbers, we didn't see some bigger plays downfield for Highlands, but Newcastle didn't give them the opportunity, though. Either put pressure on Chandler Timmons tonight. Not a lot of sacks, but he was under duress once in a while. But they played everything well. Those short passes, they made the tackles. And I think you said that I don't know if we can maybe underestimate or overstate how important that was, that first series of keeping them out of the end zone.
Yeah, that kind of set the tone for everything going on for that first half. And, you know, the other thing I want to mention is this is a Highlands team that ran for more than 400 yards last week. And they just barely cracked 100 tonight. So, you know, that Newcastle defense, after being strafed last week by, granted, a good Aliquippa team. There's no denying that. But they came back tonight to play, and because of it, they're headed to the quarterfinals.
Some of the numbers tonight's game?
Well, you got to talk about Chris Hood, right? 23 carries for 216 yards and a couple scores. He was 12 for 16 under center for 149 and another 2 scores. Mike Wells, his favorite target tonight, 6 receptions for 135 and a touchdown. Of course, Wells also threw a touchdown pass. That's pretty much the offense for the Canes tonight.
Mateo Savage with a touchdown.
Reception in the first half. Malik Jefferson, again, doing a great job as far as being the spelling back, you know, being the resting
Getting the
back.
tough yards.
Getting the tough yards. 8 carries for 30 yards tonight. But what can you say about Chris Hood? He eclipsed 1,000 yards passing. He is so close now to 1,000 yards rushing, and that puts him in incredibly rarefied air in the WPIAL.
Mm-hmm.
So
I expect the Canes to try to pull out all the stops next week.
Well,
we saw a couple of plays tonight. I think we'll see more of that next week.
Perhaps, and you know, I mean, this is a Bell Vernon team that
has beaten everybody.
Deserved the rest, but didn't need it. I mean, I think a lot of people expected a much closer game last weekend in the regular season finale against McKeesport, only to see the Leopards just blow the doors off the Tigers and solidify that 1 seed. So it'll be like, what was it, 2 years ago when Newcastle went to Bell Vernon. It'll be another tall task for the Canes going into that ball game.
All right, final again here tonight, 31-19. Newcastle wins it over the Highlands Golden Rams, thanks to Rob Gregory, Marie Atwell, our producer engineer, as always. Thanks most of all to you for tuning us in. Tonight's broadcast of Newcastle High School Newcastle High School football on News Radio 1200 WKST and at 97.9 FM has been brought to you in part by the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, by Washington Center Physical Therapy. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by the GNC Community Federal Credit Union, with their 2 locations, downtown Newcastle and Neshannock Township. Tonight's game also sponsored by the Newcastle Area Transit Authority. The final score once again from Golden Rams Stadium was Newcastle 31, Highlands 19. For Rob Gregory and Marie Atwell, Ken Lebovi, so long from all of us. at News Radio 1200 WKST Sports. Thanks, Murray.
Thank you, Murray.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT.